What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo.
Canadian
I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
To all Blues fans, we're bleeding blue with you.
Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues.
Now please welcome to the ice for their pregame warm-up, presented by Scott Credit Union. Yours.
Blue Note Fan Report. Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing today, Justin?
I'm doing well, man. How are you doing?
Did my video today piss you off a little bit? I had a feeling it might, and I was hoping it didn't.
It's a big full-size sandwich. It's a big sandwich.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what you're talking about. I probably saw it, but if I did, what video are you talking about? Oh, are you talking about the pregame prediction or the pregame prediction?
Yeah. Where
I had a mixed feeling. I'm not angry. I think it's pretty much a general consensus of this Blues team for the most part. But for me, the thing I disagree with, there's a thing that I agree with you completely, and there's a thing that I don't agree with you. And I'm sure you know what I'm going to tell you on what I agree with and what I don't agree with.
Yeah, go for it.
So the thing I did agree with you on was Shin. I think taking the captaincy it should happen. I think not to shit on Braden Shin or anything like that, but I think that it is time to strip him, just go without a captain and see how the Blues do. But the thing I didn't agree on was the fact that it's a wash of a season. The Blues are still not out of it. They're still statistically in it.
And I understand that statistically they are in it. And the reason, and when I did that video today, I had to think about it, right? Like this morning, when I did that this morning, I was kind of thinking, and it kind of pulls over from last game. We got new people. Jennifer Morgan, I know her from the Blues. She's a season ticket holder group. I met her a couple of times. Jennifer, welcome to the show. Yeah, they are cute kids. Ian Purnell, he is a nephew or he's related to Roland. I met him at Roland's memorial service. How you doing, Ian? Welcome. I know you haven't been here for a while. Thank you. Doug Simmons. I think I went to high school with Doug, but I'm not 100% sure. Right?
No, that's Doug. I think that's Doug from Ice Bag Hockey.
Okay, that's Ice Bag Hockey. Okay, so I wonder if he sent me a message.
Yeah, Doug. I sent you a TikTok of it, Doug. If you want to take a look at it, and you can send Guy a message, and we can kind of get it squared away so we can have you on. It'd be good. We want to get some different dynamic. You're a Utah Mammoth fan, so we kind of want to get your thoughts on tonight.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, Doug. Send me Guy Benson a message on. Follow me on Facebook, and then send me a message on Messenger, and then I will put the link there, and you should be able to come right on. Shouldn't have to pay anything. You should be able to come right on. That's the best way to do the link that I've found in the past. Right?
Yeah. Because I would have sent it through like TikTok, but I'm like, I don't know how good that actually does. I guess you could technically copy and paste it into a URL, I guess, but I don't technically know if that would work. So,
right. That's usually what I do. I do know. Doug Simmons sounds. I know who he's your friend from that, and I get it. but I think I know. I know a Doug Gamerick, and that's where I'm messing it up with.
Yeah.
Going back to what I was originally talking about, I just feel like, so you and me have been 1,000% invested in this season from, the summertime, right? From the summer, we were invested. We've been talking. We've had shows. We set up live. We've been like 100%, 1,000% invested. Well, I'm to the point now. Why the F should I be so invested when the product that I'm seeing isn't? Right? And that's my issue right now. And that's why I'm kind of like, you know what? Screw this. And I'm having trouble getting the game on ESPN for some reason. I'm trying to bring it up, but it's like not coming on.
It's interesting, and I do agree with you. We've been invested, like when most of the fan base has come on and been very negative and very wishy-washy on a lot of things. We've been here to, tell you the bad, tell you the good, tell you the bad, tell you the ugly. And we've stuck with the team the whole time. I still believe in the team. For me, I don't necessarily see I don't know if I see this team a playoff team. They're just too inconsistent. It's just, can they string together 3 wins? I mean, that's all I'm asking for. Can they string together just 3 wins? Like, they can't even do that so far. So it's so tough. And I think it's magnified because of the way that they're losing. I mean, they're losing to the Chicago Blackhawks without Connor Bedard, Frank Nazar, and they're losing 7-3?
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I will say, guy, I'm still sticking with what I said. I'm not flipping from what I said. I get it. The Blues got to play better. But Chicago got momentum from that BS thing that we saw in the game the other night. So,
and you know what? I get what you're talking about, and we did the reel on it, and the reel did really good on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
Over 1,000 views on reel on YouTube.
But before you answer, I want to preface this. Yeah. I get it. It is I get it. As a Blues fan, it sounds like a homer, stupid take. But I'm sorry. Hockey is built on momentum. And when you give a team that doesn't deserve power plays, free power plays when they don't deserve them, and they score on them, especially on home ice, they're going to take it and run with it. And that's exactly what the Blackhawks did. And like I said, they lost 7-3. It was 1 goal on the board from a bad call. The Blues got to be better. They did come back in that game, like pretty much immediately. They tied the game up, but it just felt that the Blackhawks just had the momentum after that. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, well, and you're right. You're right. The momentum shifted from that, and I didn't have my issue with this, and I talked about it in the reel. My whole issue was if they'd have dropped the puck right away, right afterwards, right, I'd have been fine with it, and I'd said, okay, I get it. But they had a commercial break. They had like a 1.5-minute, 2-minute commercial break. That's more than enough time, especially when they put it on the big board, showing that he got hit by his own player, for the refs to get together and say, maybe we messed this one up. And they didn't.
Right? Yeah, and I'm in agreement with you. I wouldn't have thought anything of it. I would have just said, oh, man, that's a terrible call. If they drop the puck, like you just said, if they drop the puck immediately, you're not thinking much about it. You're like, okay, it's done, it's over. But like you said, they went to a commercial break. You saw this on the screen. There is no reason, there is no rule against the officials coming together. If they see something on the Stron that is blatant as day as what we saw in that game, that was not a high sticking, it was his own guy. Yeah. There's no rule that they can't overturn it. There's no rule. So
right. Well,
that's my issue.
No rule. I know that precedent is you can't review, quote unquote, you can't review a penalty. Mm-hmm. And I completely get that. 100% get that. Have no issue with that. Paste. I think I'm getting Doug the link now. There we go. Doug, you should have a good link now. But if you're there, I think I just got you a good link. I had a little problems. I was struggling getting you connected. Oh, there he is. Let's welcome in Ice Bag Hockey Cards, Doug Simmons to the show. Hello, Doug. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey guys, how's it going?
What's
Hey,
up? What up, dog? How you doing?
hanging in there. Getting ready for this game.
That's good, man. Glad to have you on, man. I'm glad that we could get you on. You know,
Yeah,
get a
no
little
kidding.
bit of collab going with Utah and the Blues, and I definitely want to get your thoughts as a Mammoth fan. You know, hopefully we get some Mammoth fans in here, and that'd be nice.
Yeah, I hope so too. But this game is going to be it's going to be very important for the Mammoths, staying in fourth place in the Central, and it's even more important for your guys this season. Hopefully, you guys can get back up on back into there, because I'd like to see you guys and I in the take over the two wild cards, because I don't want to see anybody from the West because they all suck.
Doug, it's nice to meet you. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan. I know you've been connected with Justin in the past. It's nice to finally meet you.
Yeah,
I don't do a lot of the TikTok. I have some things going on, and I'm 5 hours behind the East Coast, so that that has a lot to do with it, right? By the time the news is out, it's too late for me to do anything with it. I'm just now getting up, and the news is already out, and so it's behind a little bit. So I know Justin does a great job with that. Are you one of those 1 to 8 guys when it comes to the playoffs?
no,
You like this current format?
no, I don't like this one either. I want them to do something totally different to set us apart from everybody else, from college basketball, college football. I even the soccer, the FIFA. I want us to be totally separated. I don't know what they need to do, but they need to separate us from everybody else.
The best they've ever done as far as that goes was at one point they were the only one that was reseeding.
Yeah.
Right. They were the only ones that reseeding, and the problem with that. Here's the thing, and the NHL. I like the current playoff format. Believe it or not, right? Because I think there's some fallacy in the 1 through 8 thinking that a lot of people don't understand. The big thing right now is the fact that you have Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota who are running away with the league, and one of those teams is going to be out no matter what in the first round. Well, if you go back to when the league was doing the four divisions or 3 divisions and the 1 through 8, 1 through 4, a team 1 through 4 was out every single year on both sides. It's not going to change. You're still going to have that team go out. Right?
I see your point. But this is why I want something totally different. I want to see something that is just, what's the word I'm looking for? Unique.
You want to see something fresh. You want to see something fresh and unique.
Yeah. Yes. I would, to be honest, to be honest, I think it would be awesome if they broke it down to where it was just East versus West, and then they did something with those top 6, 8, 10 teams, and did something like that.
You want to do away with divisions?
No, keep the divisions.
Okay.
Or redo the divisions. Let me rephrase that. I would love to see the restructuring of divisions.
Here's my thing, and I know I'm not trying to. The way I see things, and pardon me, I've got my thing is not working on the ESPN. I can't get the game up, so I got to go to center ice. I've got like 4 different ways to watch the game. My thing with this is a lot of people are like, dude, the 1 through 8, they're trying to do away with it. To me, you're making the division not matter. So do away with the division. Or better yet, they want to do 1 through 16 and just get rid of the conferences altogether. Just to be like FIFA. And I don't like either one of those. You look like you're older like me, and I don't know how long you've been a fan because I know Utah's a newer team. But I remember back in the 80s, the early 80s, mid 80s, when it was the Norris division and the Smite division and all of that. And you had 5 teams, you only had 20 teams in the league. This is pre-expansion, right? Or the second expansion. You had 20 teams. 16 of the teams made the playoffs. But the first 2 rounds were only in your division. Right?
Correct.
And that's what created the rivalries between a lot of these teams, right? Chicago and Detroit, St. Louis and Detroit, St. Louis and Chicago, the Stars and Chicago, the Stars in St. Louis. You know, they all created at that point. Toronto didn't matter. I mean, if they made it in, great, but we didn't care because I mean, Toronto shouldn't have been in that division to begin with. But that is what it is. But that was what made it so good. And I want to see, that's what I like about this format, is it brings that back into it for the most part.
Right.
I think I think Doug, I think that is an interesting take though about, you know, revitalizing the divisions, like who's in what division. Obviously, you know, you don't see that type of movement very often. And, you know, the teams that are where they are kind of, you know, where they are. Like, it's not like you're going to, like, put, like, Edmonton in the Central Division, you know, because they're not Central, you know. So, I get what you're saying. There is a few teams like, or I think Maddie was talking about, like, a team like Nashville. Nashville could technically be in the Eastern Conference, really.
Should be.
That was his take. Yeah, so you see teams like that, and you know, and I'm not trying to switch different teams, but that was just a good example from Maddie. He was like, yeah, technically, you know, Nashville should be in that Eastern Conference. So seeing a change in different teams would be kind of unique. It would be something different.
The reason that Nashville is in the Western Conference is their time zone. They're in the Central Time Zone. Detroit, who used to be in the Western Conference, is in the Eastern Time Zone. Detroit, everyone says, why'd they move Detroit? Because Detroit asked for it. Detroit wanted the move, so travel would be better, especially with the time zone shifts, because they were playing so many teams. I mean, almost everybody they were playing was on the West Coast. They were spending almost half their games, right? Half their away games, more than half their away games, were in the Central Time Zone, and it wasn't good for them. Right? Especially when you look at, you know, instead of games, you know, the games are on at 8 instead of 7, you know, it wasn't good for their TV viewership, right? So I understand that. The one thing the NHL did for a while was 3 divisions, right? They did 6 divisions, 3 divisions per conference. Now, the way the playoffs were there, it was 1, 2, and 3 were division winner 1, division winner 2, division winner 3, and then 4 through 8 were the next 4 teams point-wise.
Right.
The thing with that, and even if you went to something like that, there was times, a lot of times, where that number 3 seeded team had less points than number 4. Or even number 5, right? So as long as you have some type of divisional like this, you're going to get that.
Right. That's the way the NFL is.
Right? You're going to get some type of, there's going to be a team that has more points that doesn't make it divisional wise. And I get that. You know, I understand that a little bit, but you get it everywhere. I mean, you used to get it. Well, the only one you didn't get in was Major League Baseball. The way Major League Baseball was set up, you weren't going to get that. That was not going to happen because it was division winners and then a couple of wild cards. That was it, right? You would actually, I think there was a couple of times where one of the division winners had less wins than a wild card winner.
Yes,
right?
there
So
was.
you will get it
Yeah.
a little bit, but not much,
Nope.
right?
I think with the playoff and stuff like that, I feel like I don't have a problem with what we have now. I just think I do think that it would be cool to see something unique, like you said, Doug. Something unique, something different. The real challenge is, what would that be? How would they implement it? Could they possibly come up with something that would be successful? And for me, it doesn't really matter what you do because you're going to have differences of opinions. Like we had Maddie on, we were talking about the playoffs and everything like that. Guy doesn't really agree with Maddie's take on the playoffs and what the playoff bracket should be. So no matter what the NHL decides to do, there's going to be groups of people that aren't happy with that playoff system. So it's a great discussion point, but at the end of the day, it's not going to matter because you're not going to make everybody happy. So
No, you're right. You're not going to make everybody happy. You're absolutely right. There's no way you're going to make everybody happy. My thing is, look, if they go to 1-8, great. It's just the fallacy in that process is the 1-4 teams are going to always go to the next round, right? Yeah. Oh, we want them to have the easiest path. You know what? In 2012, the LA Kings were the worst team in the playoffs. What did they do at the end of the season?
Beat the shit out of my Coyotes.
They raised the cup.
Yeah.
Right? They were the last team to make the playoffs, and they raised the cup. So the idea that you're going to get an easier path isn't necessarily there. Right? It isn't necessarily there.
No, and this season is a little bit unique. I mean, more people are closer together. I mean, shoot, you've got what? Between the top and the East, and I'm not going to go all the way down to the bottom, but I'll pick on the middle of the East. You've got 10 points.
Yeah.
That's only 5 games.
Yeah.
And here we are over halfway through the season. That's insane. Yeah. And now in the Central, we're all 5 of us, I'll say even 3 of us. I don't think Nashville's going to do anything. There's 3 of us that are fighting for 4th, 5th, and 6th spot.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely interesting for the league right now. I feel like every once in a while you see these, like we were due for one eventually, but the NHL goes through like a lull factor. Like you'll see things like kind of play stagnant for a couple of years. You'll see the same teams up at the top. It won't be any issue. And then you have this season where you have teams that you expected to play poorly that may not be necessarily poorly. I point out like San Jose and Anaheim. I expected those teams to be better. They're rebuilding. They're younger, but I didn't expect them to be near competitive. I mean, Anaheim, I did expect to be competitive. I didn't expect them to be practically almost leading the Pacific Division. But San Jose, they played great. I think they're in a wild card spot right now. I could be wrong about that.
They are.
But,
they are.
So I look at a team like that and just the league as a whole, I feel like you have a season that always just seems to have a lull to it, where you have teams that are supposed to be bad are good and teams that are supposed to be good are bad. And I feel like it's just weird.
And this is the strangest year. And to answer your question, Guy, I've been watching hockey since the 90s. I got into it when Gretzky moved from Edmonton down to LA, and that's when I got into it. So that kind of gives you the time frame. Yeah. So I do remember the other divisions, the 3 divisions and all that good stuff, because that was early 90s that everything was going on. I mean, who expected Buffalo to win 13 out of 14 games? Who expected the San Jose Sharks to be as good as they are? And the biggest surprise for me is Seattle, who did nothing
Seattle.
in the offseason.
Yeah.
They did absolutely nothing. They got rid of people. They brought in some other little people, but they didn't do anything.
No, they really didn't. I think that what was it? Their biggest acquisition. Well, I think it actually was last year. Marchment wasn't that their big guy that they got pretty much?
No, that was 23-24 season that they did that.
But I mean, yeah, Seattle did nothing. Seattle is definitely surprising. I had Seattle down very, very low in the Pacific.
Oh, I did too.
I had Calgary down low in the Pacific. I had Anaheim raised. I don't think I had them raised as high as they are now. I think I had them like in fourth or fifth place. But it's just such a weird year, and like you said, Doug, I think that this is one of the weirdest years that we've seen, because it's not just a few teams here and there. It's like the whole league. I mean, look at Toronto. I mean, I knew Toronto would be lacking because they didn't, they lost Marner and all that. It would take some time to be reaccustomed to everything. But Toronto, I mean, are they still dead last in the in their division? Or did they move up a bit?
They're fighting. They're fighting for a playoff.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because and it's just weird because everything is so close.
Yeah. I'm pulling up the standings right now.
Sorry. Go ahead, man. I didn't mean to walk over you. Go ahead, Doug.
Oh, no. I was just saying I'm just pulling up the standings now. So I can take a look at everything. Yeah, Toronto's sitting 1 point out of a wild card spot. So
the whole East is like jammed up, right? Dante's Inferno says, been saying this forever. San Jose now has a generational talent in Sabrini now, like McKenna and Crosby McDavid, a true game changer that you can count on a nightly basis, makes a difference. I'm not shocked at San Jose whatsoever. I'm looking right now. So for me, with the Blues, when it comes down to the Blues, I'm to that point where I'm like, don't want to be invested anymore. Right? If that makes like a little bit of sense, because I've been invested the whole season. And yes, Mike, I know, am I not moving? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, no, you're good. I can hear you.
I hear you, but no, you're frozen.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Give me a second.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree that, I mean, I don't necessarily agree. That was the portion that I didn't agree with. I'm not giving up on the season. Like I said, it's been such a weird season that I don't think the Blues are out of it. Like I said, if they can pop off a few more wins, Doug, I know that we were talking about it with Maddie on his live about, Utah and St. Louis on who we expected to be in it. I know you guys both took Utah. And I said, and I brought up, I thought a good point that I would say Utah at this point. But, if both goaltenders for the Blues, find their game, like more than what they have this season. Hofer's been great here, for quite a while now. He's been one of the better goaltenders in the league. But Binnington, if Binnington, starts to, play better, I would be worried if I was a team like Utah fighting for a spot.
Well, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, anybody in the Central is definitely it can get into that wild. Anybody in the West, I'll just say that right now, besides Vancouver and Winnipeg. I mean, Calgary's sitting at 40. You guys are sitting at 42. Chicago's sitting at 43. Utah's sitting at 45. Now, one of the biggest things on this is the goal differential. We're sitting at a +8, and you guys are sitting at a -43. I know that's not going to mean anything towards the playoffs or anything, but that just shows you the skill level. And whoever said that stuff about the San Jose, I absolutely love Will Smith and Celebrini. I think those two guys are great, but I have a feeling that San Jose is going to fall. The length of the season is different than those two are used to. They're young. And They are. I think San Jose is going to fall. Do I think that they're going to fall out of the playoffs? Yes. Do I think that they're going to fall all the way down to the bottom? No.
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 They're
There's too much talent to that.
might fall off. That's fine, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be.
And I also think that Seattle's going to fall off too.
Oh, I think Seattle falls off. I think San Jose. But I'm with you, Doug. And we talked about this. I even said it too. I think San Jose, they're playing great hockey, they're playing gutsy, but they will fall off. I don't see them making the playoffs. I knew that they would be way better than what they were. And I look at it like this. We were talking about this team not that while back now. But I look at a team like San Jose and I'm thinking, man, they're going in the right direction. And I look at a team like Nashville, who's kind of stuck in the mucky middle. And we hear about Nashville, how they had all these guys available, and then they decided, oh no, we're not going to do it because they were winning all those games. That's going to be detrimental to that organization. They're too afraid to move on from guys and go for the rebuild there in Nashville. But I think the biggest thing is Askarov. We talk about Celebrini and all that, but Askarov is going to be top goalie in the league, in a couple years, I think. So,
God, I hope so.
That's a massive fumble, I think, for first of all the Nashville Predators, but I think San Jose got a gem in Askarov. I mean, and they practically didn't really have to give up anything.
No, they didn't. So, that was just that was what, a 4th round pick, I think it was, or a 5th round pick.
Yeah, that
something
was
crazy.
Askarov, when he got drafted, because I remember doing a show then and talking about him, because I think he went like 17th or 18th in the draft. He went really high.
Yeah, and he went quick.
Goalies normally don't go that high. And, they did not develop him well. No. And them moving on from him, that's on them because they didn't develop him well. And that has a lot to do with it. And I think the thing in Russia, too, I think he almost got conscripted or had to deal with that. So that had something to do with it. That's why a lot of teams passed on him earlier. But, again, Nashville didn't handle that well, and hopingly things will change. And Dante's Inferno, Mike Dante, my buddy, he says Bennington's debacle is not all on him. Team play in front is huge. However, as a goalie, you're still accountable and need to show your team that you can make big saves when things aren't going well. Benner is accountable when he allows 5 or more goals, which he's done plenty this year.
Now I'm going to answer this first, guy, because you know what, I call you all the time.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I agree. I agree with you, and that was Dante's Inferno. I agree with you, bud. But it's hard for me to say. This is the worst of the St. Louis Blues goaltending that we've had in recent memory. This has been a bad season.
I can go back. I go back to the Dick Allen years. I go back to the Dick Allen years. Okay, let me rephrase. This is the worst season of goaltending that we've had under Jordan Bennington. Okay, that I will go with.
First of all, yeah.
But also this. Go ahead, Justin.
No, go ahead.
You also got to look at this. Is that this is one of the last true team sports. Yes, the goalie is the last one to block the puck going in from the net. But you got 5 other people out there that need to also block the puck. You guys, and nothing against anybody on your guys' team, but they do not like shot blocking. I don't know if it's pain or what, but they do not like it. So they don't get in pucks in front of people.
I think they're up like one of the highest teams in shot blocking.
It depends. It depends, Doug. If this team, well, first of all, that wouldn't surprise me if they are, because, Doug, the St. Louis Blues have not given up a lot of games. Like, they have not gone a lot of games giving up 30 shots plus. They've been in that 27 range. Like, they've been very good at not allowing so many shots on net. They used to, allow like 35 plus shots average on net against. So, I think they're better with defensively. I don't know if they count shots, but anything in the NHL that involves stats is always weird because I feel like they're always skewed sometimes. You see shots. I think Doug, me and you and Matt were talking about that on the live about how they kind of do the shots. I don't know if you were there for that one, but I know me and Maddie talked about it. That
I don't remember that one.
they kind of, if you ever look, I just want you to always pay attention. I look at the small details. Yes, it's a nitpick, but if you watch the shot count, there won't be a shot in a game, and teams will manage to somehow have 2 shots added on. 1 shot added on, 2 shots added on, shots taken away. It happens. So, if you get the chance, like you said, you're not watching the scoreboard, you're watching the game. But if you ever just pay attention because they do detract, they do deduct, and they do add shots. They do.
Oh, I know. I see that.
So, it's interesting that anything with stats is so wishy-washy sometimes. I mean, there's some stats that are fine, in my opinion, but me and Guy, we talked about this on our show last time, right, Guy? Or you even brought up, you said, I hate the way that they determine what a giveaway is, right? Or a takeaway or whatever.
Takeaway and giveaways, I don't understand those. Because right now, in the league, takeaways are really, really high, and giveaways are really, really low. Well, last year that was reversed. Mm-hmm. Right?
It's weird. It's weird what they consider.
Giveaways are really, really high. Takeaways are really, really low. Last year that was reversed. So it feels like every time, the giveaway is just there's no set when it comes to that. And I can't find the block dot.
I'm looking too.
I'm looking on.
Well, we're getting underway here in Salt Lake City here, but let's get into our predictions. Doug, how about you take it away, seeing as you're the guest? What do you think's going to happen tonight?
Fight!
Not yet. I mean, there's no fight yet. 5-3. I think Utah takes it 5-3. Oh shoot! How did you see that already?
He's like 80,000 seconds ahead of me. That's correct. God.
Yeah, I have to be on center ice because I can't. So I'm going to be ahead of you guys by probably about 20 seconds.
Torchenko.
McBain is just boom. McBain took him down.
Yeah.
Why would you pick a fight with a guy like him?
Torchenko's a big guy, so
Torchenko. That's Torchenko's character, though. That's not surprising. Torchenko's a great guy to have on your team. Fourth line right there. Yeah. I'm not surprised about that fight. I felt like that was that probably had something to do with the Logan Cooley thing. But then again, we talked about that. Doug even, he said to me, that play from Torchenko, because Torchenko was the guy that was involved in that. That wasn't a dirty play by Torchenko. That was a trip. No. That was at most a trip.
Yeah. No, it was a good call on the ice.
Well, no. The call on the ice wasn't good, Doug, because remember they kicked Torchenko out for kneeing.
Never mind. Yeah, you're right. I totally forgot. Yes, that was they gave 6 weeks ago.
5-minute major and a misconduct. Right?
Yeah, they kicked him out of the game.
He got screwed on that one. But
I do remember that now.
The league didn't do any supplemental discipline, so that there tells me it wasn't a bad play.
Well,
right?
And Logan Cooley was back, I think, the next game.
Yeah,
he was, and then he's gone again.
Cooley, I think Cooley was back in the game. He came back. Oh,
no, he wasn't.
No, he didn't come back that game. He played the next game. And I think he played the next 2 games, and then he was out.
Yeah, it ended up being a bruise, right?
We don't know exactly what. They haven't said exactly what. They're just saying a UBI. Or LBI, excuse me.
Yeah. Hey, Jason, this game is on KMOB 4. It's a local game in St. Louis, so it's not just on Fox Sports. So you might be able to get it over the air. It's over the air this time. So if you got a regular TV with antennas, it's over the air. So one of them rare games.
Blues getting 3 good chances, I think, right there.
Yeah. So guys, I'm at 1839 and counting. Just to let you know where I'm.
I don't know. They're
I
just
just pulled
showing
it
right
up on
now with
another thing
Cooley.
because I'm like, I'm not. Oh, are they? Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm at
I'm not
1830
too.
right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm
Okay.
about 25
I think we're a
seconds
little
ahead of
closer
you.
now.
So normally I watch it on ESPN, but I couldn't get the game up on ESPN today. And that's why I'm so now I'm on. And what's really funny is I'm watching it on NHL Center Ice, and behind the actual game, like what you get on the alerts from the reporters there, I'm like 2 minutes behind that, 2-3 minutes behind that.
Oh,
And
jeez.
I'm already here. I'm 20 seconds ahead of you guys. The delay in streaming and on TV is ridiculous.
Yep. And that's even weirder for you being on the islands.
Well,
Are you in Hawaii?
yes, sir.
Which island?
Yes. I'm on Oahu.
Oh, okay.
I'm a stone's throw from Pearl Harbor.
Oh, nice. I
What's
love
going
Pearl
on
Harbor.
with Power play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, they are.
What's going on with Power play?
On Blues going to the power play. All right. Disney Plus, yeah. It might be on Hulu too. So he's at 1730.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. Yeah, that might be. Yeah, that's where it at. That's where it's at now.
Who was it, Kevin?
I'll let
Who
you
was
know
that?
when the
Stim-
face
or-
drops, so then you can figure out how far behind you are. Ready?
I have no
Puck
time
drop.
up. 1730.
I just had the puck drop. So
Yeah.
when you get the puck drop, tell me.
I'm pretty close to you,
Six.
guy. Like now,
I just went down.
You just went down. So I'm about 15 seconds ahead of you.
Yeah.
You're closer to me now, bud?
Yeah, I'm close. I think I'm closer to you. I'm not right on you, but I think I'm maybe 3 seconds probably behind you. I don't know what I had to pull it up. If I was going off of the TV or the monitor that I'm watching, I would be probably 35 seconds behind you. But I pulled up on my phone, so
yeah.
I can't be 30 seconds behind you. That's just not working for me.
Right.
You might as well just turn the game off at that point.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
if I could have had it on a stream, I would, but I couldn't get in the. I mean, it showed it and said the game was 3:30, which is my time, and it was past it, but it wouldn't show the live. It wouldn't let me start the game, so I just had to go to the TV. Doug, thanks for joining us for the game today. I appreciate that, man.
Of course. Yeah. This is fun.
I like doing the live reactions because you get the keyboard warriors that bitch and gripe and that. Here you got your chance. We're talking. We got their comments. We can go and keep talking about it. And that's just really fun for me. I enjoy it. We don't get a lot of people that'll do it, but hey, it's fun when the ones you get.
Yep.
Right.
No, I love talking hockey with people.
Yeah, Matt Lowe says Snoogy's release is insane. I agree with you. He had 2 really good shots there.
So, you guys are all St. Louis fans. I heard a crazy rumor. I'm going to screw up his name. Kyrou? Is that correct?
Yeah, Kyrou.
Yeah. I heard that he is asking to be traded.
I have not heard that. It's possible that Armstrong is listening because he's got a full no trade clause. So, and because he's making $8 million, and he's on he's got 6 years left, right?
Oh,
he's
good
got
Lord.
a lot of term. You can't if you eat salary, you have to eat it for the length of the contract.
Yeah.
Right? You can't eat it for just 1 or 2 years. You have to eat it for the length of the contract. Oh, wow. Parayko just tripped over his own net. Keller's a freaking Blues killer.
Oh my God, I'm about 6-7 seconds behind you now.
Yeah. Why is it that all the former St. Louis players, St. Louis born players, want to kill the Blues every single time? Thomas on a trade list. Now, that one I don't believe. That one I absolutely don't believe. I think he might be listening to offers, but it's got to be something like really, really crazy in order for you to give something like that up. Welcome, Doug.
Sister JJ.
This is from Sister JJ. Love when you have new people on. Guy, you and Justin have the best show with your guests, have different perspectives. If Guy is not as invested, maybe less game day shows, next game recap, and discussion shows for a while. Guy, your knowledge and history of the game with Justin keeps us coming back. And I greatly appreciate that, Sister JJ. What I mean by I'm not invested is, the team. I come on and I do this time and time again, yet the team seems like they're not giving me the effort, So why should I give the effort? That's kind of what I was saying with that, man. I'm still doing my shows. I'm still doing the shows. We are not doing.
And you still love the Blues.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been following the Blues since the early 70s, when I was 5-6 years old. I'm a year younger than the Blues are. Right? The Blues started in 67. I was born the end of 68. So I was born their second season.
Snuggerud has some jump in this game.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Definitely has some energy in the first. Lately, they've had the energy in the first. It's after the first period that they've seemed drained, no energy. Right? That's what happened in the last game. That second period came in, and by the middle of the second, there was no energy. And they had a couple of days. They had plenty of time off. So for them to have no energy in the middle of the second made no sense to me.
That's conditioning. There's no conditioning, coach.
That was a team that just gave up.
Yeah. That's the way the Rangers are. If you watch them. Okay. Guy, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You've watched hockey since the 70s, where it was rough and tumble, and people went after blood. There was more blood on the ice than there was in a human's body half the time. What do you think about all these kids that are faster than the players were back in the 70s and 80s and 90s?
Well, the thing is everybody's faster. Everybody's bigger, stronger, faster. And that's not just in hockey. That's in football. That's in baseball. That's in basketball, right? It's in all sports. I mean, you go back in my day, and a standard goalie was 5'8", 5'9". Now they're 6'4", right? I've had Panger on, and we talked about this, right? It's the hockey, for the most part, has done a very good job with paradigm shifts, right? Where, the thought process, the guy's too tall to be this position, or the guy's too tall to be that position, or too short, or whatever. That's kind of going away. And the skill of the player is being looked at a lot more. I mean, look at Walker. I have a pair of Walker skates, and I cannot get half my foot in Walker skate. I have his game-worn skates, and I can't get the guy's feet. He's got like a size 4, size 5. They're tiny. But he goes out there and gives all. He's David Eckstein. He's the David Eckstein of the St. Louis Blues. He gives it his all. Energizer Bunny every game. So the fact that, that style or whatever, I mean, it came down to this. If you're bigger than me and you can beat the living crap out of me, it's really hard for you to beat the shit out of me if you can't catch me.
Yeah, that's true. I just love the grit of the game, and I just feel like we've gotten away from some of that, especially here in the West, where it's all about speed, and then the East is all about hitting. And don't get me wrong, I know there's a lot of teams in the West that actually do a lot of hitting still. I mean, Utah's one of them.
Yeah.
But it just seems like there's not as much rivalry as what there used to be. Do or dies if I lose this game, I've got 81 more, or next season will be 83 more. That determination to beat the living crap out of your opponents, even though your friends, is gone. That's what I feel like. It's gone.
There's a couple of reasons for that, right? One is delusion, right? The talent pool is slightly diluted. There's so many teams now. You don't see teams as much as you used to, right? In my day, even when they played 78 games, you'd see the Blackhawks 7-8 times.
Yeah.
Right? So now in your division, you only see a team 3 or 4 times. Right? Yep. 4 at the most. So the way that they've done it now, they've had to adjust it a little bit. But you only see a team 3 or 4 times. You know, so you're not seeing anybody consistently, right? Thank you, St. Louis, for giving the greatest meme of the season with Hoffer hiding.
That was a hilarious.
Oh yeah, he gave himself a nice Chris Angel moment right there. Just
Mom says, "Don't knock us 4 and 5." 4 and 5 in a woman is a lot different from 4 and 5 in a man. Trust me.
Especially with 4 women's shoes are even smaller sizes.
And then John Hepner goes, back in your day when you were teaching Moses T-ball, you're as old as I am, jackass. So that's got a lot to do with it. The delusion, are the expansion and the amount of teams. However, I like that there's more teams in the league. I do like that they're going to 84 games. I would like to see them get more in division, right? Play more in the division. Like right now, you play 3 in the opposite division. I say make that 2, right? So in your conference, you play 3 games in your opposite division, and you only play 2 games in your opposite conference. I say make it 2 games in any conference, not yours, make it 2 games, and then take those 8 games that you added away and put them back into your own division. Start making your divisional play more important.
Okay, why don't we go to something like football where you play a certain division once, and then the next season you go to another one. You keep all the West teams in that same area, but then you don't go to every single arena.
They did that for a while. I like the fact that they go to every single arena. I think if you took the 8 games away, right? You took, because right now and actually I think it would help in the travel schedule, right?
Yeah, it would.
Because now you have we might have Utah. I don't know if it's right. Is it this year's a 2 or 1 year? But 1 year you have 2 games at home, 1 game away, and then it flip flops the next year, right? That keeps changing.
Right.
Well, take that away, right? You take that 3rd game away and leave it in division. Now your travel is more up and down instead of spread out, right?
I agree. I would love to see more divisional games. I really do.
It affects the West travel-wise more than it affects the East, right?
Yes.
So I'll tell you one thing that I would kind of sort of appreciate is if the NHL did do something similar to the NFL with the conferences where location didn't matter as much. You know, because the AFC and the NFC, they're both spread out across. So travel is a lot more equal for every team, right? I would love to see that happen in the NHL. I don't think it will happen, but I think it would really change things up if you went back to like the Wales and the Campbell conferences and you had them spread out. spread out, right? Or you did something along a north-south, but that doesn't work because then you put all the Canadian teams in one conference. You don't want to do that. But
No.
if you did some way to where you just spread everything out, both conferences covered everything, and I know they wouldn't do that because then you would be increasing travel, a lot of travel, and they don't want to do that. But I think if you did something like that, you would get a better playoff system.
Yeah.
Right? You'd get a better playoff system.
I just want to play Colorado more. That's my. I just want Utah to play Colorado more.
Are they becoming your rival?
The NHL is going to make it our rival, just for the simple fact of the Winter Classic next year is going to be in Utah, hosting against the Colorado Avalanche. So they're going that way.
Well, and they're not that far away from one another either. So I mean,
no,
it will be definitely a very fun rivalry for sure for Utah. I think Utah could be one of those teams that honestly Colorado would like hate to play. I feel like they would just be like the really annoying stepbrother that just won't leave you alone.
They already are. If you look at it, the very first game that we had this year was in Colorado. We lost to them in OT 3-2. They came to Utah and we played in overtime and we won 3-2. So we have their number. We just got to be a little bit more articulate on our passing. And I think that's what we're getting at now. And I'm seeing it today. We're doing better on passing already. So I think that we're moving in the right direction. Do I still think that we need to trade for another defensive mid? Hell yeah, we do. But yeah.
Well, hey, I want to say this to everybody that's watching me on Facebook, and right now a lot of people watching on YouTube too. If you're watching on Facebook, you have the opportunity to help the BlueNote Fan Report out. We are now monetized. You can give us stars. They're not that expensive. I think we get $0.10 per star. So, if you like what we're doing, help me out. I mean, I'll be honest. I spend about $250 a month to produce this show. I haven't made $0.10. So having a chance to try and get some of that back, all I can do is ask. So thank you if you're watching, and if you give stars like Teresa did, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you. Sorry about that, Doug.
No, you got to do your plugs. I understand. And also come follow me, Ice Bag Hockey.
They're buzzing around the front of the net.
Yeah. That's a good point. We had Doug on. It was kind of a late thing. I forgot that we were playing Utah. I wanted to get Doug on the show, but yeah, if you guys have TikTok, if you guys are on TikTok, obviously, follow us on the BlueNote Fan Report, but give Doug a follow at Ice Bag Hockey Cards. So he does some good stuff covering the Utah Mammoth.
Are you on YouTube?
Going to the game soon too.
Doug, are you on YouTube also?
I am. I just do some watching. That's all I do.
Okay.
I don't really post on there.
Okay.
Okay, I like that play. We finally saw something. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna be polarizing on this one. Kyrou, man, he's been not good. I mean, he hasn't been like noticeably terrible since coming back, but he has not been good. He has not been near good enough. Braden Shin.
That was a high stick. Okay, they called it.
Braden Shin, when people are shitting on Shin, I get it. I think they should take the captaincy off of Shin, if I'm honest. But Kyrou, I mean, Shin's playing better than Kyrou is right now. I mean,
yeah, I think two things going on there. Aaron asked, "Is this the first time that we've our first game getting double-digit shots in the first period?" No, we've had that in the past.
No, we've had.
It has happened. It has happened this season. But what? Oh, I think there's a dual-fold thing there. I think first of all, the injury may be slowing him down. Guys will, they'll say they're 100% and they never are. And they'll come back, and that could be possibly part of it. And I do think some of this trade talk or the fan talk, right? And I've talked about this for a while. I still blame that on freaking a reporter. Oh, that looked like that could have been really good for a second. I thought Neighbors had a clear breakaway there. I think that reporter, what he did that day, really has just destroyed Kyrou, and he's never recovered from it. In all actuality, I mean,
Mentally, you're talking about.
So when Berube got let go, one of our beat writers went to Kyrou just before a game, like right after warmups, and asked him his thoughts on Berube getting let go. And Kyrou's comment was, he's not my coach anymore. And St. Louis fans had an absolute love affair with Berube, and they went ballistic. Called him all kinds. I mean, said it wasn't professional, said it was disrespectful. And to me, it would have been disrespectful if we would have said something like, I'm glad the son of a bitch is gone. Maybe now I can play without getting yelled at every 2 minutes. You know, would have been disrespectful. Wouldn't have been true, but it would have been disrespectful. But he didn't. He just said it's not my coach anymore. The thing is that question should have never been asked when it was from a long-time professional journalist. Right? That's an after game or an off day question, not 10 minutes, 20 minutes before you're supposed to go out on the ice.
No, he's trying to think about the game.
Right? Yeah. And that had a lot to do. I mean, he was getting booed that night. He was straight getting booed. And then he had a really good game the next game, and everybody's cheering. But then the next night that he plays, they're booing him. So it for Kyrou, I love Kyrou. I get it. I want him here. But as much as I hate to say this, it might be time for a change with him. I think in his best interest, not ours, but in his best interest, a change might be worthy.
I think for me with Kyrou, like I said, I know you don't like it, but I'm going to shoot it straight. There's a guy in our system that I think is going to be very good for the Blues, and we saw him in camp, and I think he's going to be very good for this team when he eventually comes up, and that's Justin Carbonneau. I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be a diamond in the rough. He just looks fantastic. He looks like a blue collar guy. I don't think I don't necessarily know if he's going to be a Kyrou, look-alike pretty much. But honestly, if I was Doug, I would be looking to maximize their return for Kyrou. I would really be looking at options because you need to move him now. If you're going to move him, you need to move him now and get something for him.
Yeah.
The problem
I think these people need to start making moves.
The problem with Kyrou is the contract. The contract has everything to do with that, right? There's no way you can eat half that contract, $4 million for the next 6 years, right?
But believe me, but there is players. I will say the contract, it is interesting, and it's not an ideal contract, but I guarantee you there is there's multiple teams I'm sure that want Kyrou. I know the Canadians would have interest. I know a team like probably Carolina would have interest. I know a while back there was a rumor about possibly a Kyrou trade with Svechnikov being a return piece, and Svechnikov, that would be an interesting return piece. I wouldn't hate that. He's a good player, but for me, I don't know if that would be my ideal return because Svechnikov has always generally been a 50-point guy. He's been a 50-point guy. Kyrou has hit 70-plus points in 3 of his seasons. So I feel like the return there wouldn't be ideal there. I mean, there was more in the trade, but I don't remember it to a T.
Yeah, Stephen Glass says if you move Kyrou, you have to move contract for contract. So he's got through till 2031. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more years with an AAV of 8.125, right? So if you take half of that, you're going 4.075. And I'm for 6 years. I can't eat that contract for that long.
He has to agree to a trade too, right?
Yeah, he does.
Yep.
Okay.
has a full
Yeah, so this would be the thing too, because man, you imagine it like this. I mean, obviously the trade already happened and the pieces were there. I don't know if they would have taken that, but what they got for Quinn Hughes, imagine if Doug did go to a team like Vancouver and possibly offered something like that. It's kind of interesting to think about, because I mean, man, oh man, when you have a defenseman like Quinn Hughes on the market, I mean, you got to think that most teams in the NHL want him, right? So they're going to try to, at least see what the asking price is. It would be interesting if the Blues came a knocking there or not.
It would be.
I think the problem with that is I don't think Kyrou is a guy that would go to Vancouver right now.
No, I don't think so either. That's why I said that I don't think that it was a possibility, because I don't think Kyrou would waive his no movement clause to go to Vancouver, and that's disappointing. And that's the struggles with contracts like that. But there is guys that you can possibly work around. I just think I feel like we've been talking about this and giving the runaround for a couple seasons now. I don't hate Kyrou. I think Kyrou is a talented player, but I'm with you, Guy. I think a change of scenery is exactly what he needs.
There's one thing that Kyrou could do, and it's so out there, right? It's so out there that I don't see a player doing this, but he has one option here. Oh, you're going to be happy, Doug.
I'm watching.
Oh,
who got it? Schmaltzy.
Nick Schmaltz.
Yeah,
Who's fighting for another contract right now?
The one thing that I think Kyrou could do, and this is the nuclear option. You've heard that term, right? This is the nuclear option.
Okay.
Kyrou goes to Doug Armstrong and says, you know what? I get it. You can't trade me because of the contract. I need a change of scenery. Waive me for contract termination, and then I'll bet on myself and see who wants me. Now, he'll lose money doing that. He will lose money. There's no way he's going to get the same money, but it's the only way that he could control the situation.
I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
It was likely. I said it was the nuclear option.
Yeah, I think if, like I said, I think if you're the Blues, I think the contract is definitely difficult to move, but I think if you're going to get rid of him, I think now is your time to maximize your deal, because I do know that there would be teams interested in Kyrou.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh,
a lot of teams would be.
There'd be a lot of teams interested in Kyrou. It's just if you've got to go contract for contract, and I think any team that's going to trade, they've got to look at who they've got in that $8 million range, $7 to $9 million range, that they'll be willing to give up to get Kyrou. So you're not doing, addition, taking a guy away, you're a lateral move. So you're not doing a lateral move, right?
Yeah.
Here you go, Justin. Here's a team for your Kyrou. He can trade with Logan Stanley.
No. God, that guy is a goof and a half, dude. I hate Logan Stanley. He is absolutely a goof. Logan Stanley was the guy who hit Kyrou in the playoffs last year, and Kyrou was never the same after that.
Little plug for us, for me. Let me rephrase that. On Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern and 6 o'clock my time, I'll be on with Maddie, and then I'm also going to be on with Kara, who's a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, female, and that is actually one of the subjects that we're going to talk about because she sees it from the female point of view, and sorry, I'm also watching the game. She sees it from a female point of view on how much she hates the Tkachuk brothers.
The what? The Tkachuk brothers?
Yeah.
They got a lot of slack for the Logan Stanley. I don't know. Guy said he doesn't really watch the TikToks very much, but I did the Logan Stanley thing when Logan Stanley he sucker punched Brady Tkachuk. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, I did.
And he didn't. It was bad because Brady Tkachuk. First of all, I know Brady Tkachuk is a shit disturber. Him and his brother do blur the lines between dirty and clean sometimes. But the fact that Stanley went up to him and Tkachuk's not even looking at him and he decided to sucker punch him was an absolute disgrace.
Oh God!
Just buffoonery. And then you have the people in the comments section talking about, it's Brady Tkachuk. He deserved it. No, that's not how it works, bro. That's not how it works. It doesn't matter.
Brady,
I get it. They blur the line. But
yeah. I know. And that's one of the things. And I've had, Kara's like a really good friend of mine. So, and I was telling her is like, hey, this is bad for the sport. These kids, and I'm using the kids on the ice because they're all way younger than Guy and I.
Yeah.
These kids are role models for the actual kids. And when a kid sees a sucker punch like that, they're going to think it's okay.
Yeah.
Especially on the ice when they're playing in 8, 10, 12-year-old age groups on the ice. Yeah. So that was my point of view of it. I just think it was very bad for the sport.
Yeah, it was beer league stuff, and like I said, and I think Doug, I made a pretty good argument with Logan Stanley when I showed the two other videos along with the one that he had with Brady. I thought that those were two good examples. Someone was like, "Oh, the Kaprizov one, that one wasn't intentional, brother. The guy jumped on his back. I mean, you practically see him jump on his back, and he gets injured. He doesn't play the puck. He jumps on Kaprizov. Kaprizov goes out injured." And then you have the P. Suter one from just a couple of weeks ago, where he cross-checked Suter.
Good trip,
and they didn't call it.
Man, the Blues, they're getting a lot of chances. Vejmelka's coming up big.
Get it in, man.
Yeah, he's on fire today.
Great energy. Let's just hope it plays into the second.
I hope it doesn't.
I'm sure you don't.
Well,
because second's always my worst period. So.
Our second period sucks. The Blues second period. Yeah, so does the Blues. I think the Blues are the worst second period team.
Oh yeah,
we've actually come up quite a bit.
Right.
But yeah, that's the end of the first there.
So just so you know, Sunday we should. I haven't gotten double confirmation, but we should have the Blues anthem singer on at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Pershod Owens should be on with this. I'm waiting for actual, he said that day was fine. I'm just waiting to double check it. And then, but we should have him on us, and that should be a great show. I want to pull with that show. I'm going to try and pull up the video from when he got the torch passed to him, because it's a great video. I want to know what his thought process is, what he was thinking when that happened. Or was that set up? Did they set that up a little bit? Because, with the cameras being there, it makes me wonder if that was set up a little bit. So it'll be interesting to find out. He's a good guy. I've talked to him before. We are at the end of one. Somehow, after playing a really good period, getting 12 shots on goal, taking 20 attempts, losing the face-off battle 32% to 68%. The Blues are down 1-0.
Yes.
The Mavericks, on the other hand, 6 shots on goal, 17 attempts, 10 hits to the Blues 11. Every other number's pretty close to the same. And they're up 1-0 on a rebound goal by Nick Schmaltz. I mean, overall, it's not a bad period.
No. No,
Right.
I thought the energy for both teams was there. Both teams had the energy in that period.
It came down to the goalies, to be honest with you. It was Vimilka was standing on his head again, and like he's been doing for us almost all season. And Hofer, I don't think many people could have blocked that one, to be honest with you.
No, that one wasn't on Hofer. I mean, that was just a
that was not on Hofer. It was just
one. No,
Yeah.
it was just a greasy one.
The only way I would put that on Hofer is the type of rebound it was, the fact that it went right out center, but he might not have had a choice, you know? That might
I mean, the shot came from the outside. Yeah, he wouldn't have had much of a shot. It was just good. It was a good placement rebound. I mean, it was definitely a planned rebound shot. So, I mean, you got to give it to – I don't know who did it. I think it might have been Keller that did it, but I don't know.
Oh, it was. It was Keller.
Yeah, so, I mean, Keller, he's just a fantastic player. But, yeah, just a good placement shot by Keller, then rebound. Hofer had no chance. I don't even think the Blues – I can't fault any of the Blues players. I mean, they got the rebound. They got to clear the front of the net. But, like I said, just right place, right time kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, the Blues had right towards the end, they had, 3 or 4 shots right there on the net, and had a real strong cycle and net front presence and, just didn't get Vimilka. He stands on his foot. It was overall a pretty good period by both teams. I'm not upset at a 1-0 loss or 1-0 behind. All I can hope is that things get a little better, right? And Blues score. We didn't talk about this. I want to bring it up. Wendy kind of brought it up. And I didn't get to see the third period. I had something going on for the Chicago game. I had to take my daughters to the airport, so I didn't get to see it. But apparently, when it was time to pull Bennington, Hofer was not in the arena. Well, not on the bench. He was back, quote unquote, hiding. I don't know if in the United Center, if the goalie, because there's some places where the goalie does not sit on the bench. The backup goalie doesn't sit on the bench. There's some where he sits like on the other side of the arena. So I don't know how much that was. I don't know how much that was Benner saying he didn't want to come off the net.
I heard it was Bennington that refused to come out. He did not want to come out of the game. He did not want to be replaced. That's what I heard.
I know. One of the reporters on The Athletic did a story on it. I haven't read it yet. I haven't had a chance to read it. I might try and read it this weekend to see, get more info on it. But I it could be a little, something about nothing, and it could be. I mean, I'm just. Has anyone besides me had an opportunity to throw a cap on ice? The Blues haven't had a hat trick yet. The Blues haven't had a hat trick yet.
They've been close a couple times. Neighbors has been there, I think, twice, almost, or two or three times. I think, or two. I think. I think Thomas has been there. Bush was there. Shen might have been there. They've had a lot of close chances, but they just haven't got one yet. In hat tricks, I feel that they're not rare, but I feel that you don't see them like a crazy amount. That's the whole point. I mean, hat tricks are kind of a rarity.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. A former Blues player from this season got a hat trick yesterday.
Yeah. Who was that?
Texier? Yeah. He got a hat trick in Montreal yesterday.
Cue the Blue fan. Cue the Blue fan. Or Blues fans. Oh, well, I knew we shouldn't have gave up Texier. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, buddy. Like they had all the trust in the world for Alexander Texier. Yeah. Like they thought he was the missing piece for the St. Louis Blues.
No, not in a long shot.
Like I said, a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. So,
so on that, hat trick there. I will tell you, my Utah Mammoth are on top of the league with 4 this season so far.
Yeah, and one of them was against the Blues.
Yep.
Logan Cooley.
What was
Yep.
it a few years ago, a Winnipeg Jet fan ended up getting a little over a $1.1 million Canadian dollars because a Jets player, and I can't remember who it was, scored 5 goals against the Blues. If they got a hat trick, they got the thing was, if you got a hat trick, it was a shopping spree at a supermarket. If it was 4 goals, it was 100,000 Canadian dollars, and if they got 5 goals, it was $1 million. But it was cumulative, so you got each. You got each one. You won each one if you kept getting added prizes, and so yeah, I mean it happens. God, I can't remember who that was. I know it was Winnipeg. I'm pretty sure it was Winnipeg.
Yeah, you definitely.
Speaking of Winnipeg,
Huh?
Speaking of Winnipeg is up over LA Kings 5-1.
Yeah. Well,
that's not all surprising. LA, like me,
I know
LA are pretenders. I'm sorry. I mean, they are afloat of that division because the Pacific is so bad.
I understand that, but Winnipeg scoring 5 goals in a game? That's pretty rare this season.
Well, you know me, Doug. Doug, if you know me by any chance, bud, you know I'm definitely not a Winnipeg Jets fan. After that, I actually used to cheer, and want Winnipeg Jets to do well. After the playoff series and the absolute incompetence of their fan base and their organization, their coach crying about physicality in the playoffs, I will never have respect for the Winnipeg Jets. Yeah, they're a team in the NHL. I'm not going to say I hate them, but I'm also not going to sit here and glaze anything that they do, because when you have a coach and players crying about physicality in the playoff series, you lost all my respect.
Shut up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't, and Doug, I'm dead serious. I don't know if you caught any of obviously the Utah Mammoth were not in it, so I don't know how much of it you watched. But if you watch Scott Arneal's, some of his comments after the games, about physicality and how the Blues were out there intentionally trying to run their players. I mean, it was just embarrassing. It was embarrassing from a coaching standpoint, to even say something like that. I mean, the Jets, the best way to describe the Jets is they don't know how to battle adversity. They never have. I feel like their adversity, they cannot overcome adversity.
The old Winnipeg Jets, and Guy will remember this, before they originally went to Arizona, they didn't play very well, but they had a lot of grit to them. They did like to hit.
Yeah.
So, that period of time in hockey, mid 80s to early 90s, there was a lot of, you're and if you've seen the Ice Guardians podcast recently with Brett Hull and Kelly Chase, they had the Blues Warriors coach Bob Basson on, and they were talking about Bob Probert. The guys like Bob Probert were not the exception; they were the rule, right?
Yeah.
And now they're the exception. You look at there's probably about 5 or 6 guys that are Probert-esque in the league now, where there used to be, the entire fourth line and the third line, or the third defensive pair, were those guys, right?
Yep.
So I mean that has changed a little bit, and again, it's changed because guys figured out, if I'm faster than you, you can't hit me.
Yeah.
And that's why it changed, right?
Yep.
You can put those guys on the ice all you want, but if they're not quick enough to hit the guy, he ain't gonna hit anybody.
Nope. And guys like Tyson Nash and also Biz Zanette, they went to the wayside.
Yeah. I remember Tyson Nash. I got to meet Tyson Nash once. All right.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, really good guy. I have enjoyed hockey. To me, it doesn't matter how bad your team is, it's still an enjoyable sport, right?
Yes.
I will say this, for the most part, get spoiled, because when I did really come into my own as far as watching, when you're 5, 6, 7 years old, you're cheering for anything. You don't know, right? But when you hit that 8, 9, 10-year-old mark, right? And that's kind of where I was, 10 years old. I'm 78. That's just starting with the Blues really getting that momentum going. And that's when I started watching hockey, and that's when the Norris division was the Norris division, right? They used to call, I remember Chris Berman used to call the NFC North the NFC Norris division, because those 4 teams beat up on each other, the Bears, the Packers, the Lions, and the Vikings, like the Blues, the North Stars, the Red Wings, and the Blackhawks in Toronto beat up on each other, right? But I also remember a lot of 1-0 hockey games in the playoffs, right?
Yes.
Because the physicality went up, and it was somewhat of a keep away, right? Playing keep away.
Yep.
So that's gone away a lot. I do like that. That's gone away. I don't know what happened that the goal scoring has dropped as much as it has. I mean, are there guys out there that are not as good as Gretzky was, has Paul was,
Lemieux, Yager
was, as Yager was,
yeah.
Right now in the league, there's only 2 guys that I think are on that level of those guys. One's obvious, that's Ovechkin, right?
Yep.
But the only other guy that I think is even close, I don't know. I'll let you guys see if you think, who do you think there's somebody else that's in that same realm as Ovechkin as far as goal scoring goes?
As goal scoring?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. As of right now,
Yeah,
like in the league currently,
closest one I could think of would be McDavid, but I wouldn't put him even in that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put him in that league at all.
you're missing
I
one.
mean,
You guys are
I feel like
missing one.
Are you thinking Crosby?
No, nope.
is it? Are you for? What do you? Are you saying that we're missing? Are we missing? Are you saying that we are that like your opinion on this person? Like
No,
this is who you think?
So the question is, I'm looking for the guys that we mentioned: Gretzky, Hull, Lemieux, Yager, Ovechkin. They were pure goal scorers, right?
Correct.
That's what they were. There is one other guy in the league right now that I think is a pure goal scorer.
Nathan McKinnon.
No.
Younger or older?
Middle age. Middle.
That doesn't help at all.
Kucherov?
No.
Kucherov is not a goal scorer.
Well, he's just a great player overall. I love Kucherov.
Yeah, that's why I asked the question if he was a goal scorer or not. And yeah.
Well, I mean,
God.
well, and McDavid was a good guess.
You guys.
McDavid was a good guess just because of how he was. But McDavid, his passing ability is underrated too because he sets a lot of guys up. Like he can score, but the only other guy that I think is just a pure goal scorer that doesn't really do much assisting is Austin Matthews.
Bingo.
That's who I was going to pick.
And for me, and I'm sorry, but Austin Matthews, and that's fine. He is that, but Austin Matthews doesn't touch Ovechkin, in my opinion. I think, to me, it's an unpopular opinion. I'm not the biggest Matthews guy. I think he's a good player, but I think a lot of the players around him, especially when he was playing with Marner and, just the guys around him, help him be able to be the goal scorer. I kind of like it when my centers, especially seeing as he's a center, can do multiple things. McDavid can score, he can assist. Nathan McKinnon can do the same thing. I just think it's more valuable, especially nowadays in this NHL. But if you're talking about pure goal scorers, I think Ovechkin is the guy right now currently. Austin Matthews, I'm sure a lot of people would make that comparison, but I don't think he's quite on that level. I really don't.
You also got to remember there's 10 years in between them too. So actually more than 10 years.
Well, and I get that, but Doug, it's not even that for me. It's just the fact of the type of player to me. I get that they're years apart from one another, but how long has Matthews been in the league since 2015, right? Something like that. I think 2015 or 2016. I think it was 2015, and so he's been in the league for this is his 10th, 11th year,
season.
Something like that. So he's been in the league long enough. For me, I'm not the biggest Austin Matthews guy. I think he's a great goal scorer, but a lot of that credit has to go with the teammates that he has around him. I think he has a great shot, but in my opinion, obviously age gap, but I think Ovechkin is just in a different league.
I'm actually going to disagree with you. I think he's better without the supporting cast, and I think that he is actually just as good as Ovechkin is. And you got to remember that he just hit, and I don't know what his numbers are now, but he got the Toronto Maple Leafs all-time scoring number at 421. And I know he's done more since then, but that's half, almost just under half of what Ovechkin is. Yeah. And that's about half of what Gretzky was. So, Guy, yes, I do see where you were going with that. I agree with you.
Part of this was the guys that I mentioned, Gretzky. So the guys at the top of the goal scoring are Gretzky, Gordie Howe, Ovechkin, Lemieux, Yager, and Hull. Of those 6 guys, 4 of them played together. Yager, Lemieux, Hull, and Gretzky were all on the ice at the same time in the same period, still scoring the same amount of goals. Right?
And that's why we'll never see the 80s numbers again.
Well,
where you saw 8, 10, 12 goals a game.
It was the goalie pads, right?
That's true,
pads have gotten so much bigger. You look at old goalie pads, that has a lot to do with it.
Yep.
So
that's a good point. So, okay, with that statement, then, are you saying that Austin Matthews is better than them?
No, I'm saying he's on the same level as them. I'm not saying he's better. I just think he's a pure goal scorer. He's you cannot talk if you're talking about those guys. How do you leave him out? I mean, you're talking. He's Toronto Maple Leafs are 8 years old now, 6 years old, whatever it is.
Right? Yeah, something like that.
And he's the all-time leader at 421. That tells you something.
Yep.
No, I'm not talking about on the ice together. I mean, I know they played on the ice together, but I mean, they played in the league at the same time is what I meant.
They were on the,
by that, yeah.
And actually, a couple of them did play together on the ice when they were Canada, and
yeah. Right. So you had, I think Yager and Lemieux played on the Penguins together.
Correct.
What I meant was they played at the same time as Hull and
Yeah.
Gretzky, right? And game's
Yep.
back
They're
on,
all.
by the way.
Yeah, I know. I'm watching.
Good conversation. That's what's good about it. Oh, hey, I just got the confirmation. We are good for Sunday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time
That's awesome.
with Prashard Owens.
There is a lot of fast puck moving this game.
Yeah, there was a lot of that in the first period. I didn't know if it was going to continue in the second. So far, it has.
Yep. And the hitting is continuing as well. Well, with Bedard back, Bedard is not doing as well as what everybody said, because they said that Bedard's back, Chicago will win. Washington Capitals are up 4-1 over the Chicago Blackhawks. That's awesome.
It's going to take a couple of games for him to come back.
But everybody's like, "Oh, he's back! He's back!"
I get hate for this, but I still think Bedard's going to be kind of a bust. For what everybody thought he was to what I think he's going to be, I don't think he's going to be what everybody thought he was.
So, out of all the young kids that are in the league right now, Guy, who would you take first in your fantasy draft?
Young kids?
Yeah, under 21.
I would probably go with Celebrini.
Justin?
I think he's playing in a more open offense. I mean, again, as a fantasy player, he's playing in a more open offense, and he's playing with a more there's no we have to win right now attitude, so there's no pressure. It's a no pressure game for him, so it's allowing him to be him. And I think Bedard is playing in sort of that. He's getting to that point where the pressure of being Bedard is starting to get laid on it, and his injuries are mounting. I think I would have to go with Celebrini.
What about you, Justin?
If I was now, and we're talking long game, right, Doug? So, like, in a grand scheme of things, if I had to choose somebody that
under 21, you're a GM of a team, and you have a pick. You have a fantasy pick. You can pick anybody that's out there. That has to be under 21.
You know what? I'm going to make I think we should represent 22, and I have a reason for that, and I'll tell it in a second.
Okay.
What'd you say?
Make it 22, not 21.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go with. We're talking long game, and you're saying if I was the GM, who would I take first overall? Looking at it right now, Celebrini is a great choice. For me, I'm going Matthew Schaefer. I think defensemen, having defensemen come in are big for long game. So I think Matthew Schaefer would be my pick for a guy, a young guy.
That is a fantastic pick. So, okay, you bumped it up to 22.
Yeah. Well, the reason I did that is because so many guys play 3 years in college hockey before they come in, so they're 21 when they're coming in. So some of them are in that 22 range now, and there's one that's on the ice. That long game could be a guy in that conversation in Jimmy Snuggerud, right? I mean, he's having, again, the Blues. The Blues themselves are not having a great offensive season, but if this problem gets fixed and they become the Blues who they were at the end of last season, or who Montgomery coaches, an offensive team, I think Snuggerud's going to be one of those guys that starts putting up the points.
Yep.
And that's
so
not
I will.
That's just looking at. That's just looking at the overall aspect of the game itself.
He's got a very high hockey IQ.
Yeah.
I would pick Celebrini. for the simple fact of I think his 200-foot game is fantastic. I think that he is getting into his own groove now, as this is his second year or third year. No, this is his second year. Oh shit, that was a hard hit on my boys. And one of the things that I like, he stands up for his own his own teammates. I don't see Bedard doing that.
Yeah.
I don't. Schaefer doesn't do it. I think Schaefer will do it. Don't get me wrong. I think he will once he figures out his place in the lineup.
Yeah.
But I'm with you, Guy, on this. I think Bedard is not going to be anything like what they said. He's the next Kane. He's the next Sidney Crosby. The next Wayne Gretzky.
Sorry, I hate to interrupt you. Yeah, what we just that wasn't good right there. What we just saw, you'll see it, Doug, if you're not there yet.
Oh no, I'm already here watching the fight.
Yeah,
I didn't get to see the hit.
Yeah, Snuggerud. That's Snuggerud. Speaking of Snuggerud, the Snuggerud gets hit by Tanev there.
Yeah. I didn't see the hit. I saw the fight. We were talking, so I missed the fight.
Yep.
I still don't like Shin fighting. I don't like Shin fighting. I get he's standing up for his teammate.
Guy, I get what you're saying. I'm not taking. No, we're not doing that tonight. That's not what we're doing. Shin stuck up for a young guy, Snuggerud. That was absolutely the right decision. Absolutely.
That was a clean hit. He's just standing up for his boy. Yeah, that's the first time I've seen Shin do that. He didn't do that when he was younger.
Oh, he's done that a lot.
There was a thing that happened in the season earlier this season where Shin did fight, and the Blues were up in the game. That I can understand. That I can say, yeah, why is Shin fighting there? That right there, I'm fine with that. Shin sticking up for his teammates. That's what you wanted. Everybody's talking this season about how the Blues don't have any mental toughness. They don't have any toughness. Well, Shin just showed you toughness. He stuck up for his teammates. People said the Blues don't stick up for themselves. He just stuck up for his teammate.
The problem is, Justin, is Shin is a skilled player. You're taking a skilled player off the ice for 5 minutes, right?
Okay, so you play this black and white. What do you want? What do you want him to do? Do you want Nathan Walker to jump off the bench and go fight this guy? That would be a penalty.
On the ice at the time.
That was who was on the ice. Shin was on. I mean, Shin was on the ice. Snuggerud was on the ice. Bush was on the ice.
Well, Snuggerud wasn't going to fight.
Yeah, Snuggerud, he got hit. He wasn't going to fight. Buchnevich is not a fighter. He can fight.
Okay. What about
when you piss him off? I don't know the defenseman. I think it might have been Falk and somebody else, or maybe it was Parayko. So it was something. It was not fighters. Believe me, I'm telling you right now. You can't. I mean, the Blues can't have someone off the bench. I mean, yeah, you can. The thing you could do is you could take his number and then maybe do something later, but. If your captain's on the ice and he's known for his physicality, why not do something?
And I'm also going to speak up on that.
Way back on the play, so I get that. I get that a little bit.
Shin is your captain. Your captain. If somebody goes after a young kid like he is, your captain should be the first one in there, and then you get the enforcers in there. But if there's no enforcers or no fighters on the ice, it's up to Shin to take care of it.
Yeah, it's I think it's Parayko and Broberg. None of those guys on the ice were fighters. Shin was the only guy that was going to take that fight.
Well, Parayko should be a fighter. I mean, he can fight for Canada. Why can't he fight for the Blues? So
send him to Winnipeg and see if he fights.
I do see your point.
Well, I will say, Shin or not Shin. Parayko has never really been a guy that really does do much fighting. But he did have that tilt in the Four Nations. Shockingly enough, That was the first time I saw him fight, and it was against someone, or it was against, I think it was JT Miller, and I was like, out of all the people that he would have fought, I felt like JT Miller was not going to be that guy. I do think JT Miller is kind of from his time in Vancouver, I think he's kind of known as a locker room cancer, and kind of a douche, but that would not have been my pick if Pareko was to step up and fight somebody.
Damn it.
I like when you swear like that because it tells me that there's something good coming. But never mind, it went away.
2-0 Mammoths.
Who got it? Lawson Krause. Who actually had a conversation today with his wife.
He tried to make a play and it cost.
Yep. Yeah, I had a conversation with his wife today on TikTok. That was weird. I was a fanboy for a moment.
I want to do more lives on TikTok, but the problem is because I use StreamYard, I don't, for some reason when I go live, it doesn't give me the option for an RMTP, right? To use StreamYard. Oh, there we go. That's an answer.
Sunquist.
Sunny D.
Sunquist. I will say that's probably one hole for one's back, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Lawson Krause. I don't know how well of a shot it was. I mean, but it is Lawson Krause. Like, no disrespect there, but he probably should have had that one.
Thanks.
Speaking of
far down by Sunquist, what a shot!
Yeah.
Definitely not the guy that I expected to score this game.
Silverjet just totally blocked Vajic Vimelka right there.
I think that was a really good goal.
I'm saying that was a fantastic goal.
Oh yeah, that was a wicked shot.
Yeah, I mean that was far down top corner.
Yeah.
You know?
God damn it!
Get to see
I'm
it.
gonna lose my bet because this is gonna be over 4.5. Or maybe I think it's probably gonna be over 4.5.
Right? I felt like that was a goal scorer's goal there.
You got that right.
And your favorite player, Nathan Walker, with the assist.
One thing that we've got to remember with the Blues is they got a lot of young guys. They got guys that are going to make mistakes. They got a lot of young guys that are still figuring out how to play. I mean, of our young guys, the most experienced is Neighbors, but I mean, I don't consider Neighbors a veteran yet. I think he's got another year before you can, maybe next year you consider him a veteran, but there's still a lot of young guys out there and they're going to make mistakes. Oh, Thomas just missed. I think Kyrie should have shot that.
I need Thomas to score. I have a bet on him.
Oh, nice shot, Broberg.
Broby.
I must be like 20, 25 seconds behind you guys now.
You're behind me? I'm at
10:30.
10:30 and counting.
I'm at 10:45 right now. Yep, I'm 15 seconds behind y'all.
I'm not directly with Guy. I'm still behind him as well.
We might be getting a too many men on the ice penalty for the Mammoths.
The Mammoth might get it.
That should be too many men on the ice, but they're not going to.
Yeah, it hit a skate. See, I hate that rule. If the guy throws it at the player, it should not count. He purposely passed it right to here to hit him.
I don't. The too many men. I hate. I don't hate it. Like if the player comes off and you see the six guys on the ice, I absolutely hate the like player not being involved. like in the play, like he'll go off for line change, and like you said, Doug, like it'll like be like barely touched, but like the player's like not even in the play, and they still call too many men. I hate that. I hate it.
Yep.
It's
Well, actually,
so
they just
garbage.
stopped it. That's all they did on this one. So,
Hey, Doug, are you in Utah
Yeah.
or just a Utah fan?
I'm a
You're in
Utah fan.
Arizona,
I'm in
aren't you?
Arizona.
Yeah,
Yep,
he's
I'm
an
in Arizona.
Arizona Coyotes fan. I mean, he just went over to fandom.
It
Right,
took
you-
me a
you-
little bit
you
of
were-
time, but yep.
Yeah, you were all in on the Arizona Coyote. Yeah, because the jerseys were elite. I love the jerseys in Arizona.
Still have it.
They're going to get an expansion team within 2 years. If they can get
No,
the stadium,
I think it's gonna be
figured out,
longer than that.
if they can get the stadium figured out, which Gila Arena wasn't that bad. It was actually a pretty good arena, wasn't it? I've seen it. I haven't been in it. I've been to it.
Gila River is okay. It's very expensive. The city of Glendale owns it, and they charged a lot for the teams to play. So it holds what 16, I think 16, 17,000, but it was it had some terrible sight lines, but it wasn't that bad. Yeah, no, we want to be. And the biggest thing is that what a lot of people don't understand is how spread out Phoenix is.
Yeah.
And most of the hockey fans were in the same area that I am in the East Valley. And it was all the way on the other side. So we would have to travel almost an hour to get there.
I mean, so I've got a thought process. This is like for me, like I have a daughter that lives in LA, right? And LA's like St. Louis in ways. It's got, its own little municipalities around and all of that. But to me, like Anaheim is LA, right? It's all part of that metro area, So when I've been to Phoenix, I haven't lived there, but I've been there, and I actually stayed in a hotel that was right next to where Gila Arena was, right in that area. And to me, I mean, from the airport to there was only 20 minutes, 25 minutes, which is about the same from the airport in St. Louis to where the Blues Arena is, which is okay for me. So some of that I don't completely understand. To me, the metropolitan area is the metropolitan area, but
so
I don't there. So it's just my feeling, my belief. I know if I told LA
I'm
people
about
Anaheim was part of LA, they'd beat me up.
Yeah, no, you don't. I'm originally from California, so you don't consider Orange County a part of LA. No,
Yeah,
that's like. But I'm about 20 to 30 minutes away from the airport.
Yeah,
The opposite way. So.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
Phoenix.
I get it. I'm just saying that's kind of the way I look at it,
Yeah.
I had
Yep.
I was in Arizona, Doug, twice for golfing. I don't remember where we were at exactly for in Arizona. I don't remember the golf course that I was at, but I know I was there twice. Doing a golfing tournament for the hemophilia thing that I have because I was asked to represent the chapter, of
That's cool.
for hemophilia. But that was very cool. Believe me, bud, I don't envy you though. I could not live in Arizona. Too damn hot for me. But it was definitely cool. Like the scenery and everything is very cool there.
It's brown to me.
Sorry, Doug. Give me a second. Sorry, Doug. Let me say a big
No.
thank you to Joseph Trigg, E. Guido, Jennifer Morgan, Stephen Glass, John Jeffrey, Todd O'Neill, Aaron Nels, Teresa Singer, Jason Nichols, John Hefner, and the man I just cut off, Doug Simmons. So putting them thumbs in the air. We greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much.
I'm glad you did it because that was what I was trying to get you to do at the intermission, but we were getting into that conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. So this has been a good game so far. Both of these teams have come out with energy in this game. Blues currently out shooting the Mammoth. I think 16-8 right now. In this, not in the period, but in the game.
16-9.
16-9.
It's going to be 16-10.
Oh, thanks. Does the 10th one go in?
Oh my goodness. Mm. Who's he got here? Sean Dursey.
Yeah, yes, it does.
Oh wow, he's wide open.
Yeah, he was.
What in the world?
What did I say? 5-2? 5-3?
Yeah, I think something like that. 5-3. Yeah, it's God damn it, man! Freaking.
Sorry, my internet was down for a second. That was on Snuggeroo. Snuggeroo was not covering his guy.
Yeah, nope, he's puck watching.
Yeah, he's absolutely puck watching. Yeah, he's not even anywhere looking.
That's the younger crowd. They do a lot of that. I see a lot of it on my team, even. And we actually sent one of our better defensive men, Dmitry Sinomov, back down to Tucson because he kept puck watching. And also Jersey came back, but yeah. So do you guys think Shin's going to survive the trade?
Say again?
Do you guys think that Shin is going to survive the trade?
No.
Stay at Blues?
No.
No, I don't think. Last year was an anomaly. They had that run. They went on and they decided to hold off and not get rid of him. I don't think that happens this year. I think he's gone.
Yeah.
Where do you think he's going to go?
Honestly, I mean, there's a few teams that would probably have interest in him, probably the more hard-checking physicality teams. When I think of a team that could use him, I think Carolina would be a good place for Shin. I think even a Dallas would benefit from a Braden Shin, give him a little bit more physicality for a deep playoff run. I think there's a few teams he could definitely go to.
He's got term too. He's got 2 years after this. So, and he's got a 15 no trade team list. So there are teams he could go to. And at 6'5", that's not bad. That's not bad. I wouldn't eat half of it, but I would eat a quarter of it for 2 years. Right?
Yeah.
But I would almost think that Armstrong is a huge proponent of dollar for dollar trades. And if he can get that, I'd be happy.
Who's your guys' GM? Bill? No,
Doug Armstrong.
Is he related to Bill Armstrong?
I don't think so.
I don't think that they're related.
Bill Armstrong was with us for a while.
He built your guys' Stanley Cup team.
No, Doug Armstrong did, but Bill had a hand in it.
Okay. I thought he did it.
No, Bill was like an assistant GM.
Okay. I don't know. I like Bill Armstrong. What the hell happened here?
Looked like there was a penalty called, and I didn't see the rest of it.
All I know is I see Lawson Krause getting a glove. Who is it? I can't see who it is.
Tucker. Well, it looks like Tucker on our end.
Yep, it is Tucker on your end. I have a feeling he's going. If the no trade clause can get waived a little bit, Buffalo could use them.
Utah 5-on-4 power play. Got Thomas and
Thomas took him out. Thomas took out Keller.
Yeah, that was a good call. Yeah, that was a good call. I got no issue with that.
Oh, they got them both for roughing too.
Yeah.
They got. Dang, your penalty box is full. So is ours. We got 2.
Got to kill this.
We need to capitalize it. Stop this ticky-tack shit.
I mean, even with the
Finally.
score, it's still been a well played game by both teams.
Oh, yeah. It just comes down to that one goal in the very beginning.
Yeah.
Small mistakes can cost big things.
Yeah. And it's been young guys, Dvorsky,
Thomas.
Stewart.
Yep.
Well, I consider Thomas a veteran now. I mean, at
He's only
26.
been at what? He's 26 now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 26. When you're on that UFA contract, you're no longer a young guy, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I mean Thomas is your franchise player right now. I mean he's not a rookie anymore. I mean, he's in the early stages of his prime, pretty much. I think they say about 27 is about your prime, your peak prime.
25 to 29. Yep.
Yeah.
Are you guys excited about the Olympics?
Not really. I mean, I usually get into the Olympics, but for the hockey, not really.
What do you think about the NHL players coming back?
I don't have a problem with it. I think I would like to see. They did it a couple of years ago. They kind of went away from it. I think the NBA did it where you had to have 2 college players or 2 younger players on the team. I would like to see. I would like to see some of the younger players on the team also. Right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing guys that, 17, 18, 19, 19, 20, 21, younger guys on the team. I would like to see that. My issue with the Olympics is the style, and they need to, if you're going to want, and the Olympics wants the NHL players, which is fine, but the IIHF has got to change the rules to match the NHL game. Right? They've got
that
to be
the rink size.
Closer. I mean, rink size is one of them. But also, the auto icing, that's one that's kind of doesn't work. There's a few, the no fighting, right? There's no fighting in the IIHF, right? So
Yep.
Some of the things that used to that I now look, I get in the international game the no fighting. I get that. I don't have a problem with that. But I would like to see the rules slip closer to the NHL. I would like to see the rink size be closer to the NHL rink size. I'd like to see the play shift a little bit better. Dante's Inferno, I'm excited. Maybe the Blues will have post-break magic like they did last. Well, they got a lot more players going to this one than they did in the Four Nations. They got, 5 players now going? Dvorsky got picked today for Slovakia.
Justin, what do you think about the Olympics?
I'm excited for it. I like the break. I guess it's 50-50 for me. Like I like the break. I don't like the break. I don't know. I just like watching hockey in general. I don't have a problem with the NHL players coming back. I do think it has. I think it'll come down to like presentation and just how they present it on TV. Like, is it going to feel like a big spectacle? Is it going to feel like a big thing to me? I would assume so with the amount of talent you have. I mean, I feel like I don't know how you can not have, talent or have the feeling of it being huge, just with who you have.
Be honest, what I'd like to see, and this is controversial, right? I'd like to see ice hockey become a summer sport, not a winter sport.
You want to compete with other, like baseball?
Well, here's the thing, right? Basketball in and of itself is a winter sport. It's played during the winter, yet they have it in the Summer Olympics, right? So it doesn't affect the game. That doesn't affect the NBA game, the professional game. Well, in the NHL, this is played when the NHL is playing, and it affects the game. And it doesn't just affect the NHL game, it affects the game in every country in the world because they all play in this period. So if you could move it to the summer game,
great, absolutely fantastic play by the St. Louis Blues there.
I'm watching it right now.
Hold the play in. Great play, Thomas. What a pass. Robert Thomas, a great pass again. Bush finally puts one in. Not that I've had a problem with Bush. Bush has gotten a lot of slack this year. Bush has been actually better than Jordan Kyrou this year, especially the recent stretch of games, that's for sure.
Oh, nice tic-tac-toe play. Nice.
Yeah, it was a good play. It was a good play.
Really nice tic-tac-toe play there.
Justin Falk keeps the puck in quickly there.
Bang, bang, bang.
He gives it. Neighbors gets it down low.
1, 2, 3, back of the net.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought that Thomas went straight to Bush. No, great pass. I mean, great pass by Snug. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was bang, bang, bang. 1, 2, 3, back of the net. A goalie has no chance with that because you don't know who to defend.
Well, because it went up to or went down low to right out in front or up high in the slot there. That's a lot harder than.
You are correct. You would probably need a second arena or a different arena to because the arena that basketball's played. It's not just basketball. There's other sports that are played in there. I think volleyball's played in an arena and that. But I think that's in a lot of places that you're doing the winter games. They have multiple places that could also do hockey. It's just. I just think that if you did that, and yes, I know it's like throwing it out there, but it's an indoor game. It's an indoor game. It's not like they're playing the Winter Olympics in the outdoor arena, and you need the 20-degree temperature to keep the ice cold, right? So, to me, if you could shift it, I say shift it just 1 year as an experiment and see how it works. See if it can be done. Give whoever's bidding on it, the time, don't do it like in the next one, but give them time to say, okay, we're going to shift this for one right now, just for one as an experiment. And you need to add that into your bid.
There's that Utah second period that Doug was talking about, the kind of the slippery slope.
I want roller hockey for the summer games. I wouldn't mind seeing that either.
All right.
Roller hockey?
No, I was just talking about the Utah Mammoth taking another penalty. They took another one. Yeah. Not the look, Doug, right there, bud, for them, especially after they gave up a a penalty, but they scored on the delayed penalty, and now they just took one right immediately after. So hopefully that doesn't. Hopefully that
was
doesn't
a
come
weak
back and cost
penalty.
them.
Decent move.
Oh,
Barely
oh,
tagged him.
I wouldn't put anything past them, Doug.
Hey guys, I gotta use the restroom. I'll be right back. You guys got it. You got it for a few minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, Doug. I mean, that should not surprise you in the slightest. It doesn't surprise me. The NHL and the officials have sucked in every aspect. So, but then we'll get the excuse that it's a fast game, Doug. So,
It is a fast game, but half the refs play it.
the what, sorry?
I'm saying it is a very fast game, but these refs play it or have played it.
Well, there you go. I mean, the Utah Mammoth, they get it right back, and the Blues are going in the box. So,
Yep. You take down that shoulder and guaranteed it's going to have a penalty.
yeah, who we got here? Was that Philip Broberg on Schmaltz?
Yeah, Schmaltz. Yeah.
Yeah, right call there. I don't particularly. Broberg's been relatively good this year. I don't really understand the play behind doing that. He wasn't beating him. I don't know. If Broberg's been very good this year, but that's probably a penalty he doesn't need to take there. I don't think Schmaltz would have got anything out of that opportunity. I will say though, Doug, I've been, like I said, I've been the one heavy on the officials. Guy is a little bit more lenient with them, but it's what kind of goes to what you were talking about, the physicality kind of going away in hockey. I do feel that in a way. Like there's a lot of times, like in that play right there, honestly, it's not a like the most egregious holding call I've seen. For me, it's more so like two guys like battling for the puck, and the NHL has lost in the sauce with that. They have two guys fighting over a puck, what they should be doing, and they're calling a penalty on such and such, for a puck battle. I mean, it's just not good, nowadays with that.
It's not good for the game.
No, it's not. For me, it's the inconsistency. It sets a bad precedent for the league. Like you said, I think it sets a bad example that you let some things go, but then you don't let other things go.
War penalty's over, so we are on a power play for 40 seconds.
Give us your comments. Give us some engagement. Get some talking points here. Yep, Utah on the power play there. They get a shot off there, but
yep, they are
safe.
Oh, nice stop, Hofer. Yeah, I mean the power play this year has been so much better than the previous years for the Utah Mammoth. Unfortunately, they revert back to their little tic-tac-toe shit, and people are afraid to take shots.
Yeah, they don't want to shoot. They don't have that shot first mentality. I mean, in Utah, they should realistically, they should be really good on the power play. I mean, I'm sure it looks better than what it did, but I think with a team like Utah, with the amount of talent that they have there, they need to shoot.
I will still stand by my statement. They probably have the best top 9 or even the best top 12 in the NHL right now. And Guy, you can comment on that as well since you're back.
I didn't hear what was said.
Oh, we were talking about the top forwards, and in my opinion, I would say Utah's probably got the top 9 or even the top 12, the top in the league for the forwards in this year.
I don't know about the best in the league, but I'll say they're up there.
Who's got a better top 12? Who's got a better full-on forwards?
For overall,
Yeah.
I'd say Edmonton.
Right?
Right?
No, I wouldn't even say Edmonton. I'd honestly prefer
Dallas.
Dallas has got a better top six.
Dallas.
I'd say they have a better top six.
You got a lot of really good players, but you got
Yeah,
nobody
they do.
that, to me, that stands out. I mean, your best player is Caden Keller, but he doesn't stand out.
I disagree with you.
Clayton. Yeah, I disagree with that too. Clayton Keller absolutely stands out. He is definitely a standout. He's a guy that he's the personification of a guy that any team wants. He is in that conversation with. He's not like obviously Nathan McKinnon or Connor McDavid or anything like that, but he's a guy that shows up pretty much every night. Like I feel like there's not a night not a game where I see Clayton Keller not be effective on the ice.
And I also disagree with him being the best player on the team. I think that Dylan Gunther is better, and I also think Logan Cooley is better.
I really like Logan Cooley, and I really like Dylan Gunther. Dylan Gunther, those three alone is definitely great for their team. I'm not going to sit here and glaze Doug just because you're the guest. I think that they have a good team depth wise on forward. They're just a young team. When I look at Utah, it's for me, it's the guys. It's the usual suspects that show up in Utah. When Clayton Keller, Logan Cooley, Dylan Gunther, Nick Schmaltz, when those guys are on their game, they are very effective, and Utah has success. But when those guys are not scoring, I feel that Utah struggles. So I will say that. But like I said, that's a very generic, basic statement because that's how most teams are. If their top guys aren't showing up, your bottom six guys are probably not showing up. So
yeah, take a look at New Jersey Devils, who everybody said it was going to be fantastic this year. Who is it? Jack Hughes goes away for a couple weeks because he decided to stab his own hand, and I think they had 2 wins the whole entire time that he was gone. So, that's.
I would really even with him back, they're still very, very inconsistent.
Yeah,
but I mean they got beat by we thought the St. Louis Blues got beat by the Blackhawks, but the Islanders beat the New Jersey Devils 9-0. So
that's our boy Scary. Says Utah doesn't have the best top 12 or top 9, maybe top 7, but that's delusional.
Okay, Scary, tell me who is the top.
He's gonna say Colorado.
In teams,
right? Colorado's got a fantastic team, but they got a top 6.
Oh,
you got to look at more depth.
Doug, I'm gonna say this. Like I said, I don't know how much of this show you actually watch. I'm saying that Scary would say Colorado because he's like the closet Colorado fan here.
Okay,
but Colorado, I'm with you, Doug. Colorado is a top 6 heavy team. Their depth becomes an issue in the playoffs. Their goaltending isn't proven enough. That's why I'm not sold on Colorado winning the cup. I think that very rarely do you see a team, play number 1 in the league and be the President's Trophy winners and then come in and win the cup. It very rarely ever happens. So I don't think it's going to happen. I think their depth lacks in Colorado, and I definitely don't think that their team all around is better.
No, and I also think the same thing about Dallas right now. I don't think that they're going to go very far in the playoffs either.
Dallas is going to go.
Who's getting fired, Chris? What do you? I know you're watching football, so I'm not sure. What are you talking about, Chris?
Dallas is going to go far. Dallas is going to go far if Jake Ottinger is good. If Jake Ottinger is Jake Ottinger that I expect him to be, Dallas will be decent. But I am one of those guys too that I said a couple years ago that I thought Dallas was going to be on the downward trend. They got a couple guys, a lot of hidden gems in the in their pool or whatever, and it kind of kept them afloat. I kind of thought that Dallas was actually heading towards more of a like a rebuilding situation. I felt like a couple seasons ago they had like Jamie Benn, who was aging, Tyler Sig. I felt like they didn't have, the Jason Robertsons coming in. That they had the Rupe Henses, and they had some great players over there. Miro Heiskanen on defense there, probably their best defenseman. I think that he's touted as their best defenseman.
Yeah. But
I get what you're saying. I think you can nitpick any team in the NHL. I don't think it's like it's very subjective. Like, guy might say, hey, just for instance, Dallas is, the most complete team. You might say that the Utah Mammoth, and I may say that it's the Florida Panthers. It's all subjective, and I don't think any answer is particularly wrong. It's just what you feel.
That's true.
I mean, unless you're completely delusional and you tell me something like the Buffalo
Edmonton?
Sabres are the most the Buffalo Sabres are the most complete team. They're playing good hockey, but you have to be realistic. If you're realistic with your expectations, then I feel like your answer is not wrong.
No, this is
okay.
scary.
So Scary's saying here about the 16 goals on the second line has only most by 16 goals. Their second line has 28 goals. Is that because Nathan McKinnon is switching lines again?
I don't
Like
know.
he did a couple of years ago?
I don't know where he got that.
I don't know either.
Where he got the numbers from. Scary.
I will say, sorry, go ahead and read that comment if you want.
Yeah, no, this was something for me. Chris was replying to a comment that Hef had made, and I can't see that. It doesn't tell me when there's a reply. So that's what that was all about. So, okay, my bad.
No biggie.
Yeah, the for me, like I said, the Colorado Avalanche, they're a team that I've always touted as they're a team that has little to no depth. They have a great top six, and I would even go as far as say they have a phenomenal top three. Their first line is incredible, but then honestly, you look at the stats for the Colorado Avalanche. I looked last year. You know who sits atop of the Colorado Avalanche every year, and they sit atop every year by a large margin? Cale Makar and Nathan McKinnon. And they're so far ahead of everybody else, it's not even funny.
Right.
So if those guys aren't producing, Colorado's not winning very much. I mean, look at Nathan McKinnon has 43 games played and has 78 points right now. 78.
Yeah.
I mean, that's absolutely incredible. And Marty Necas, he's been excellent for them. He has 55 points. So Nathan McKinnon has 23 more points than the second place guy on Colorado.
Right.
23.
Look at the time on the ice for McKinnon.
Nathan McKinnon's time on ice is 21:49.
That's high for a forward.
Forward, yeah.
Yeah. He leads the team. Actually no, Cale Makar leads the team with 24:57.
But you're also looking at defensive men.
The highest I'd want a forward to be is 18 minutes.
Yeah, forward wise,
Mm-hmm.
Marty. I knew that this would be the case. So Arturi Lehkonen, I guess the second line for them comes in at about 18, 19 minutes, and then Nathan McKinnon, Necas, they come in of 20, like above 20 minutes a game. So what that tells me is those guys, they're producing. First off, the numbers prove it, and the time on ice proves it. I mean, those guys are getting unreal minutes producing, and we got to ask what would happen if those guys weren't getting those minutes and they weren't producing.
Well, they're getting the minutes because of the fact that that's what they need.
Yeah.
Go
ahead, Justin. Sorry.
No. I just like I said, I just want to read this out. So Nathan McKinnon, 78 points. Marty Necas, 55 points. 51 points for Makar. And then Brock Nelson, Okay, so those three players, Marty Natchez, Kale McCarr, Nathan McKinnon, are top of the leaderboards, like I expected them to be. Brock Nelson, how many points do you think Brock Nelson has this year? He's fourth on the team in points.
I would say
Take a guess.
45, maybe.
37. 37 points. So you have Kale McCarr that has 51 points as a defenseman, and then your next drop off is 37 points. I mean, granted, Brock Nelson has been fantastic this year, and I'm not taking anything away from him, but it just proves my point that Colorado doesn't have much depth. Yeah, their team's
Correct.
getting it done. Yeah, their team is very, very good, but their depth is still an issue. And it's going to become an issue in the playoffs when Nathan McKinnon and Kale McCarr are worn down. It really will be. I guarantee it will be.
I don't think Kale McCarr will wear down as much, just for the simple fact he's defense, and defense always has high minutes playing. But
That's
for
true.
a forward to have over 20 minutes, that's a third of the game. He's going to be dead.
That is true. I will say I agree with you, Doug. Kale McCarr, yeah, defensemen do get bigger minutes, but I think the reason I say I lump him in there is because of the defenseman that Kale McCarr is. Now, you're probably not going to agree with me at all, Doug. I think Kale McCarr is a fantastic defenseman. He's a generational defenseman, one of the best in the league, probably, if not the best. But I have said this, and I've been on record saying it. Guy knows it. Kale McCarr is a great offensive guy, but his weakness is his defensive ability.
Yeah, he is basically a fourth forward when he's on the ice.
Yeah. And
I'm not going to disagree with that, because that's the way he plays. That's the way he was growing up. That's the way that the Avalanche want him. So yeah.
And the reason I say that you could disagree, because there's a lot of people that would disagree with that statement, because like I said, I just think that he is very overrated. Like he's probably underrated for the ability that he has on the offensive side of the puck, but he's very overrated with the ability that he shows on the defensive side. He lacks severely with the defensive part of his game. And
I have always said that McCarr is a good defensive player. He is a great offensive-minded defensive man.
Yeah, absolutely. Guy, what do you think?
I'm just listening to you guys, man. I don't have enough knowledge to go with it. Had a good conversation.
but you know Kale McCarr. Well, I mean, what's your thoughts on Kale McCarr?
But here's the thing. I wear blues-colored glasses, and when I see Colorado, I see Kroenke, and that takes everything away from me. and they're a great team. They're built well. They have a chance to win the cup. Problem is, and you can go back. We talked about this last show or 2 shows ago. You go back and you look at the teams that have set the record for the most points in the league. How many of them have won the cup? And I think the answer is none. Right? Maybe I think Montreal at one point had in the 70s may have won the cup from but that was like pre-expansion era. You get into the expansion era, and I'm not talking the first 12. I'm talking real expansion starting in the 90s. And these teams, I remember Detroit, Tampa Bay, and most recently Boston. Detroit went out in the second round. Tampa Bay and Boston went out in the first round. So when it comes to that, 7 President's Trophy winners have won it since 1980. That's not a real high number. When you think about that, you're talking 40 years, bud. 45 years. 7 out of 45? That's like 20%. And Doug froze on us.
Oh, yeah, he might have.
Sorry,
Yeah.
it's not connecting to my earbuds, right? So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, like I said, I think we're all in agreement here. Obviously, you guys, you said that you have like the rose-colored glasses. I'm with you. I'm not going to be someone that is a Colorado, glazer by any means, because Stan Kroenke and all that. There's history there. There's reasons why we don't like the Colorado Avalanche, and it more so has to do with the person who's not even on the ice.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree that. I mean, Nathan McKinnon is absolutely fantastic. I really lump him in with one of the best players in the world. He is right there neck and neck with me, with McDavid. He really, really is. And I know a lot of people. I think McDavid probably, on most people's list is probably the number one, but Nathan McKinnon is a very, very, very close 1A, in my opinion.
I just, for me, I mean, the Avs are playing. If they continue playing this way, I think it's going to catch up to them in the playoffs, because it has in the past. It has in the past, right? And I'm not talking President's Trophy. I'm talking the guys that set the teams, like they're on a record pace, most points in the league. Highest point percentage ever. They're on that record pace, and the top three teams that I know that have the last three teams that have held that record, none of them won the cup.
Nope.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm looking at there. I mean, they could break that streak. I get it.
They could. But there's, like I said, there's no. Obviously, they won the cup in 2022. You know how I feel about that guy. If Jordan Binnington doesn't get ran, I think the Blues win that series. But, to each their own, they still won the cup. There's nothing to me, in my opinion, that has shown me that the Colorado Avalanche is going to be capable enough to have that depth in the playoffs. I think that, obviously, I didn't have any doubt that they were going to make the playoffs. I mean, I don't think anybody doubted they were going to make the playoffs. Is their goaltending also going to keep up? It's been very good this season, but is it going to keep up in the playoffs where those two goaltenders have not played?
Right.
Well, that too, but who is it? Was it Wedgwood or Wedgwood and Blackwood? I think Blackwood does have a little bit, I think, of playoff experience. Not a great deal, but I think a little bit with New Jersey.
Does too.
And Wedgwood does as well. But those guys are still very inexperienced when it comes to the playoffs. Those guys were not starters for their teams.
Oh, Thomas just got hurt.
Did he?
Yeah, it was kind of a funky way he fell down. It wasn't a bad hit. They collided into each other, and he kind of went down funky at the blue line.
Oh, yeah, Lawson Cross took him out. That's that new ice.
Yeah.
It's always slick.
Yeah, see, he just went down awkward. It wasn't a bad.
Now, Cross went down first.
Be honest, that's tripping. By rule, that's tripping. I've seen that called before, and it should be called. It probably won't. But he just.
I don't think that is considered a trip, and I don't think that they should consider it a trip.
I've seen that called.
Oh, I have too.
Yeah.
I just don't think it is.
That was a bad landing. I'm sure. I would be shocked if he's not cut on that from that, like, falling right on the ice like that. I'd be shocked.
I think he got the wind knocked out of him, to be honest with you.
He probably did, but man, he landed right on his freak. If he would have went a little further, he would have freaking scorpioned. I think he kind of did scorpion in a way.
Yeah,
he did a little bit. He's going back in the back, yeah.
Yeah, and that could be, and honestly, with the way he's walking, it's probably, like I said, it probably knocked the wind out of him. But it's probably less the face than it's probably more the fact that when you scorpion, you really do something to your back. So hopefully there's nothing there with your back or nothing.
I think they're going to check him for concussion. I think they're going to check him for concussion protocol.
Yeah. But no malicious, no malicious intent by Kraus.
No.
He falls. This just hockey play. Can't do anything about
But
that.
I have seen a guy get tripped that way, and the call be made.
Yeah,
I have too.
I have too.
By rule, that is a trip, right?
Yes.
By rule, that is a trip.
Well, it happened. It happened this season. It happened, I think, a couple weeks ago. Sundqvist, he fell down and he went sliding and he slid into somebody, and they gave him a penalty.
Yeah, they gave him the tripping penalty. You're correct.
Yeah, I've seen, and it's not just once. I've seen it a lot of times. I mean, but then again,
all I'm saying is, by rule, that is considered a trip.
By rule, I for me, like that one I could have made a case for. The Sundqvist one a couple weeks ago that we saw where he fell. I mean, Sundqvist he fell and he slid about a good 5 feet before he trips this guy, and they called a penalty. How do you call a penalty on a guy who's on the ice sliding, and then he slides into a guy? He doesn't have any control on that.
Yeah. No. It says player. Ryan Green says player. Oh man, I'm doing it. I'm saying his name. Player slides into a player, always called, but not for the Blues. That's the hockey gods for you. Yeah. Oh, somebody's going in the box.
Well, we got Alex Turney doesn't look too pleased. So, it's Dylan Gunther.
I think it's Gunther going.
Yeah, Dylan Gunther. Yep, Dylan Gunther to the box. What are they calling? Interference?
I would think so.
Right there.
Yeah, interference.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He slowed him down after the puck went by him.
Shin, I will say Shin did kind of sell it a bit. I will say that.
They're trained.
He did.
I mean, you know, that's not always a bad thing, you know.
But guy, that's the issue. You know what you just said? They're trained to sell it. The fact that you are trained to sell it is a joke. The fact that is a precedent that the league has set is a joke.
That's what coaches have set starting in Pee-wees.
I know, but the NHL has yet to perfect the embellishment rule. How many guys do you see do this? And it looks absolutely egregious. I mean, it looks. You know what I think of when I think of embellishment, guy? I think of the 2019 series against the Dallas Stars when Esa Lindell flopped twice after getting barely touched. If you remember that.
Yeah.
That's what and Esa Lindell did not get called for that. The Blues went on the penalty kill for that play.
I don't like the way the embellishment is called. Actually, I haven't seen it called that much this year at all. Sundqvist has had it called on him a couple of times, right? Like he got fined because it had been called on him. Yeah, I will say Sundqvist is if there was a guy on the Blues that does do a lot of like that kind of flopping stuff, Sundqvist is that guy. There's not the Blues do like there's times where Sundqvist doesn't embellish, but Sundqvist is a guy that has known to be an embellishment guy. But the Blues have always prided their game on really not being a diving team. They're really not a diving team. Never have. You know where the diving comes from? It's not from hockey. I mean, it's definitely not from
soccer.
Soccer,
yeah. Soccer.
And the NBA is really bad at it. Right.
I think it's so hard. But see, and the thing is like I feel like it's very easy to see embellishment in soccer. It's a lot harder to magnify it in hockey because it is such a fast game and it may look different to the eye, but there is some bad embellishment penalties or bad embellishment plays that I've seen. Like
I don't disagree with you. I do not disagree with you. Embellishment is one of 3 rules that I would like to see fixed. And I'm sure you can guess what the other two are.
I didn't. I cut out. I didn't hear the first thing. What'd you say the first thing was?
I said embellishment is one of 3 rules that I would like to see fixed.
Yeah. That I know goalie interference is up there. And
too many men
is
on
the
the
other-
ice.
No, I don't have a problem with too many men on the ice.
But that one's kind of a minor one. I would assume it would be the overtime stuff that we've talked about. No, it's not. Or is it the referee in the box, like in the building?
Okay, the fifth referee. There's an actual rule that I've talked about in the past that I would like to see changed.
I know. Is it one that we've talked about or one that you've talked about?
One that we've talked about.
Okay, so I know the ones that we've talked about. We've talked about the 3-on-3 rules changing.
Yeah, but that's not it.
So obviously I got the first two. The first two was obviously goalie interference is the one. I mean, how could you not want that rule to change? I don't know. As soon as you tell me, I'm gonna be like, man, I forgot. But I feel like we've focused a lot on goalie interference. We focused a lot on the embellishment. I can't think of the other one, if I'm honest.
Icing.
I feel like
Icing.
How are you going to fix the icing law?
If the puck crosses the red line between the trapezoid, not icing. That's something the goalie should have played. And even if the goalie's off the ice, 6-on-5, and it goes through there, that's considered a shot.
Yeah. Now I will say, and this is a good point that you bring this up. Now I remember. I know that icing was your thing, but I brought this up, and I know, Guy, you agree with me. When the goaltender is in the net, Doug, and you see the puck roll down the ice, and the puck practically goes through the crease, through the blue paint, and it hits the side of the net, and the goalie doesn't touch it. I don't think that should be icing. I think the goalie should. If the goalie is able to play the puck, they should play the puck.
Yeah. To me, to make that rule, because the goalie can play the puck in a lot of places on an icing, right? But to make that rule to where the goalie should play the puck is the trapezoid. And I'm not talking coming in from the sides. I'm saying the red line where the trapezoid is, the goal line. If it crosses that goal line between the trapezoid, that's not icing. That takes icing away anytime, right? And I think that would really help the game out a lot. And it would force goalies to become better puck handlers, right? They did make the one rule change where if you fire the puck from the red line, from outside the red line, and the goalie holds on to it, that the team can't change. So they did kind of take that away. But there's other things that need to be. There's things that slow the game down that shouldn't, and that type of icing, especially in a 6-and-5 situation, because the guy is obviously going for the net. Looks like someone is going in the box. It might be from the Blues.
Yeah, Snuggerud high sticking. On
somebody got. Yeah. Hey guys, my phone's about ready to die.
Okay.
I gotta jump off.
No problem, Doug. Thanks for joining us, man. I really appreciate it.
No, I want to say thank you to both of you all for having me on. I think this was a great time, and I loved it, and I wish I could stay on for the rest of the third, but yeah. I'm at like 3% right now, and it's on the charger, and it's dying.
Yeah, no problem, man. We'll see you later, buddy.
Doug does some good stuff. If you have TikTok, or I know you said you just watch on Facebook, you don't have a Facebook account. I mean, you have one, but you don't post another.
Right.
If you have TikTok, follow Doug. Ice Bag Hockey Cards does great work with the Utah Mammoth. He covers also other things in the league, contract stuff. You do a lot of the contract stuff. You do good stuff with that. You're a little bit more involved with that stuff than I am. So give him a follow if you have TikTok, for sure.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a great night.
You have a good one.
Have a good one, Doug.
All right, bye.
Thank you, Doug, for joining us tonight, and thank all you for watching us. Don't forget, if you're on Facebook and you can afford it, give us some stars. They're helpful. They're going to help me. I mean, I'm looking at it straight up. I need some help to produce the show. I'd like to put a little money in Justin's pocket too. But I mean, I'm spending $250 a month for a show that I make nothing on, and I've been doing it for a long time. So I'm asking for a little bit of help.
Yeah, I mean, overall though, this has been
now that's embellishment. That's embellishment. You see that with Keller?
See,
that's
yeah. So okay, so guy, and this is crazy that the fact that we just talked about that. See that right there. That is why the league is at fault in its own right, because they do not enforce the embellishment rule properly.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean that's a joke. I mean that's bad, dude. That is bad. That is a terrible call. I didn't take Clayton Keller as a diver or as an embellishment guy, but God, that was terrible.
Yeah,
wow.
No, he right? He just touches him on the head, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, he throws his head back like he was, and he just touches him on the head. That's the fifth official one to come back and say, okay, you guys called this one, but we're going to call that one. Ah, damn it. They made us pay for it. Bad penalty, and we get paid. We pay for it.
So again, I want to preface this. 2 games in a row now. 2 games in a row. This happens in the third period. So now this, like I said, this has been a good game. I think the Blues have played a very strong game in this game. I think they've had a lot of chances in this game. I'm sorry, guy. This is the dagger. This is the goal that closes this game. This game is over.
There's 13 minutes left, and the Blues haven't been a great comeback team. This isn't as bad as the last one. This isn't a momentum changer because they had the momentum going into it. But it's still.
I wouldn't say that. The Blues scored second. The Blues were a goal behind. They haven't played a bad third period. This, like I said, this right here. My thing. Think about it like this. Okay, I said momentum, but when you get a power play that you don't deserve and you score on it, take that momentum and times it by 2.
Yeah.
So don't just say momentum. You times it by 2.
It does help that team out, obviously. Us in that obviously word. That's going to become a keyword. That's going to become like our little thing. Obviously. Sorry, man. Oh, I'm going to choke to death. I just feel like I just lost my place. I see what you're saying. That there's some things that they got to get fixed, right? They got to. And again, there was a commercial too. There was time to look at that. Some of this stuff needs to be looked. And this is to me where Toronto comes in. Toronto seeing that should have said something.
Well, and let me put it this way. I know Toronto's seen it because I think this is the only game that is being played right now, I think the other 2 have ended. I could be wrong.
Sure.
I think the other 2, there's only 3 games tonight.
We're the only game going right now.
Yeah, so there's no reason why they should not have got that.
But here's the thing. The problem is you can't review the penalty. Toronto cannot call a penalty. That's something that needs to oh wow. Hoffer just took a stick to the face. See if they get
now Kraus. Yeah, I like I said, there's still time for the Blues, and I'm telling you right now, audience out there who's watching, listening to us right now, I know I've honed on in this and magnified this to the degree, but don't be optimistic about this game. This game, like I said, I will eat my words if the Blues come back in this game, but I'm telling you right now, from a fan watching this game is over. So
Yeah, no, it was
when the Blues
bumping into him.
When the Blues lose this game, I'm gonna be at the end of the show, and Guy's gonna say, Justin, how do we end this show? And I'm gonna say, where's the girls? And he's gonna pop the thing up on the screen, and then he's gonna ask me who's late for dinner. I'm gonna say the boys, and I'm gonna say, the game was over, in the third period. So, just a prelude to anyone watching.
Yeah.
I'm a straight shooter. So, like I said, I've been optimistic all year, Guy, and this team is capable. They played a good game. They really have. They have not been bad tonight. That's your game killer right there. This game is over. But Blues have 11:50 to play, so there's still time. I'm hoping for a comeback.
That should be amazing, yeah. I'm hoping to, but not counting on it.
I'm hoping. I mean, like I said, it's perfectly, it's plausible. Like, 2 goals is not that difficult. I mean, they can come back.
It's not, but it's just coming down to it. I mean,
what happened? Sorry, hang on. What happened with the shots? Why are the Utah Mammoth outshooting us 21-20 now? Weren't the shots like 25-21 just a second ago?
No, it's 20-21. We were outshot 9-6 in the first period, and we've been outshot 6-1 in this period, or in the second period, and we've been outshot 6-1 in this period. So here it is. You're behind. We have 11 minutes left, 11 and a half minutes left, and you have 1 shot on goal. I know some people are like, no. Well, Thomas, we don't know how long Thomas is out too. Thomas could be an issue too. I don't know. If Thomas come back on the ice, I haven't seen anything.
So they had 12 shots in the first period, didn't they?
They may have upped it to 13. When they go back and look at it, sometimes they'll give a shot.
Okay, 13. So they had 13 shots. How many did they have in the second?
6.
So 13, 6. So 19. I guess, but I could have swore that shot counter was we were in favor of that for the most part, but well, I mean, it's whatever.
No, they've caught up this period. I mean, they've outshot us 6-2, so 6-3. Oh, here we go. Should have passed that to Walker.
Oh no, that's okay. That's okay. Torchenko drives the net. He has the space.
Lance the Scott, the D-Man, says, for the fans who hate Bennington and want him gone, today's game is showing the uneducated fan that the team must, at the least, play well in front of Bennington and Hoffer. And I do agree with that. But I do agree that Bennington has not played up to the level that he is capable of. By the way, clip that.
I mean, but the thing is, though, but this team has not played bad tonight. I'm gonna sit here and say that they have not played bad tonight. Have they played a Picasso of a game? No, but the Blues have very rarely played a Picasso of any game. They've had a few Picassos. They played the Edmonton game. That was a great game. The Dallas game was probably as best as you could do, and that was only a 2-1 game.
Yeah.
So, or no, 3-1, right? That was a 3-1
win. We got an empty netter on that.
But it was a 1-goal game for like the whole game. Like the defensive clinic that those two teams had was just incredible. But we've had some good games, like games that they've pretty much almost been perfect. But this game has not been perfect, but they have had chances in this game.
Yeah,
The
no,
milk has been good.
I'm not looking at this game going, oh my God, they screwed it up. They didn't play. This is a game. If they lose this, okay. I'm going to say right now, unless the floodgates open, I'm going to say this is a good loss, right? You played a team ahead of you in the standings. You played them hard. You were you got behind. You tried to come back, and it just fell short. Okay. I'll be okay with that.
Well, and I will say Hofer in this game, the rebound, the first goal wasn't on him. The second goal, I will say he probably should have had. The Lawson Krause goal, he should have had. The third goal, what was the third goal? Yeah, the third goal was
that was a wide open.
He was wide open. Yeah, he had no chance. That was a bad missed coverage by Snuggerud.
Snuggerud missed an assignment.
And then the fourth goal was a bad penalty that should have never been called.
Yeah.
And then he got scored on.
4-on-4. It should have been 4-on-4, not a power play.
Well, no, technically, no. For me, I think first of all, if you embellish, it should not be a penalty on the player that delivered that initial thing that you called. Like, well, he delivered.
Here's the thing. First of all, he did hit him above the head with the stick. Yes, he barely touched him. I get it. But the reaction afterwards was over the top for what it was. Well, and that's why I think I don't have a problem in that instance giving both players the penalty.
Well, yeah, in that instance, sure. I can see you giving both guys the penalty in that case because he did touch him a little bit. But there is a lot of high stickings. The way I view embellishment, though, is if they crack down on it and said, if you embellish, then the opposing team does not get penalized for it. I think it's going to stop teams from embellishing as much.
Lance and me have been arguing on this. Lance says there are only losses. There are no good losses. Lance, there has to be good losses because you can't go 82-0. You can't expect to go 82-0. You are never, ever going to go 82-0. So there are losses where you play really, really well and the other team just beats you. That's a good loss. And I'm going to stay with that.
Barely misses.
Right? I'm sorry, bud. I'm a Leaf fan. Just proud and came across your stream. Us Leaf fans are starting to warm up to Berube after the tough start. I know it's off topic. I used to love the rivalry between St. Louis and Toronto. We talked about that a little earlier today when Toronto was in the Norris division. I am not a Berube fan. I have not been a Berube fan. And I'm surprised. I don't think he's going to last another year there. I don't.
And also, I didn't catch the name when you read it, but thanks for joining the show. Yeah, don't apologize for going off topic. That's what we like to do. We like to keep it raw. We like to keep it genuine. We like to keep it organic. So yeah, thanks for joining in and joining the show. Hopefully, you give us a sub and a like and a share. We greatly appreciate it.
You guys had that crazy ass owner. Him and his sons were insane. I'm not sure who you're talking about there. The Lowrys, maybe?
What was the comment?
You guys said, no, this would have been back in the 80s. This would have been right before Rolston Perina. That might have still been the the original owner, and I can't think of his name. Back in the 90s, that was the Lowrys. Back in the 90s was the Lowrys. Right? Mm-hmm. We had Dave Chicketts and then the Lowrys. If there are bad losses, there are good losses. Yeah, I believe that. I know he used to fight me on that. He's now with me. Late 80s. Yeah, I think that was that might have been if not Chicketts. I know who you're talking about.
I think Lance, I'm going to play devil's advocate here and kind of combine both of your theories on this one. I do agree, Lance, that, yeah, you're losing. As a Blues fan right now, you can't afford losing. I mean, these were two big games. The Blues needed to win these two. I mean, this game isn't over yet, but I mean, technically, I'm going to, like I said, I'm still going to be kind of the dickish about this. The game was over. After the penalty was called and they scored, the game was over. But these were two games that the Blues needed to win. There were divisional games. These Utah is ahead of you. Chicago was below you. Now I think Chicago's ahead of you, and now Utah is further ahead of you now. So these were games that you needed. I think, but from the guy perspective, Lance, I think he means by good loss and bad loss. A bad loss would translate to me would be their effort wasn't there. They were piss poor on their lack of, I guess, effort, as I just said,
Chicago.
as I used it again.
Both Chicago games.
Yeah. So their effort, you have the Chicago games, you have the Vegas game that they played in St. Louis, you have the Colorado game, you have you have all these games that they haven't shown up. Those were bad losses. When guy says good loss, I think he means that.
Holy! How did that
Wow!
wow!
I think when he means good loss, it means that they showed up. They actually had chances. In this game, they've had chances. This is a game that Vejmelka has been good in. So, I think that's what guy means by good loss.
I know that a player or coach isn't going to say that something was a good loss, but yeah, Lance, you should have the link. You should still have the link if you don't let me know. You don't mind Lance coming on, do you?
No.
I hate losses, but there are losses where you played really well and probably should have won. Yeah. That's
exactly. Well, yeah. Well, and there's plenty of games. There's plenty of games, Chris, and that's literally what I just said. There's games where the Blues show up and the other team just edges you out. There's times where both people have this notion that two teams, when they play each other, one team has to be extremely bad, one team has to be extremely good. Why can't you just enjoy hockey and say, okay, this team was good and the other team was good, and the better team won in the end? It happens. Teams win games and they lose games. This has been a game where I'm not discrediting Utah. They played a good game. They're at home. Hofer should have had that second goal, but I will say this game sadly was over after the goal, or after the penalty that was called, and then they scored. Lance, because if they didn't score, what's up?
I want to just let Lance know I sent it in Messenger.
Oh, okay.
Scary's asking me a question. I don't remember. Harry or Nest. Oh, yeah. I remember. Yeah, Harry or Nest. Okay. I remember now. I couldn't think of his name. Anyway, St. Louis had tough hockey teams, pretty big boys, and a tough defense. My favorite goalie of all time is Cujo. He's loved like a god here in Toronto. Yeah, I know that. I understand what Lance is saying. I really do. But if I'm a GM, right? If I'm a GM and I'm going back and I'm building my team, I'm looking at the season and I'm going, this team played well. That team played well. This team did this. My team played well. We lost. Okay. You got to understand, as a player, maybe you don't accept every loss, but as somebody, as a fan or media or something, when you're writing, when media is writing, when it's a good loss, when they write about a good loss, right? And that's what I'm talking about. I do get your point.
Thanks.
Can you hear us, bud?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. I just want to explain what I meant.
Okay. In losses, yes, the good thing about a loss is you can learn from your mistakes. A good thing about a loss is you can learn from your mistakes. If you play hard and you lose 5-4, was the effort there? Yes, but you still lost the game, and here's why it's a bad loss. Because your team had 3, 4, 5 opportunities on the power play, or 1 or 2 breakaways, or several good chances to score, and you didn't, and you should have. That's a bad loss because you had the game to where you probably should have won, but you didn't win because you couldn't execute. I never in the 36 years I played, I never had a coach, whether it was a coach in midgets or a coach in high school or the men's leagues after that.
Yeah.
Not once did I ever hear a player say, "Man, we lost 4-3. That we lost, but that's a good loss." And I've never heard a coach say that either. I've heard coaches say, "Great effort, guys. We came up a little bit short. There's a lot we need to learn from. Go get them next time." But he didn't say it was a good loss.
That's a backwards way of saying good loss. That's a backwards way. And
I will guarantee you, if you polled every NHL player,
yeah,
when you lose, regardless of it being blown out or a low score, you lose an OT, you lose in shootout, would you call those good losses? I'll guarantee you 85 to 90% of those players will say no. Because I'm going to tell you, losses killed me.
On the record, I think you're right. Off the record, maybe not.
Losses, you don't need a coach to tell you it was a bad loss. If you do, then you're not a good player. Players know when they didn't play good. Goalies know when they weren't playing well.
Fair enough.
I do understand where you're coming from, and I do understand your point that, hey, we played well. We only lost by 1 goal. We kept them there the whole time. I do understand that. And the way I look at it is that, but we need to improve and we need to get better. That way we don't lose these games like that. But I think we're kind of getting around to very similar sayings. You're just saying them in a different way.
But I can't look at this game and go, "This is the Blues played bad in this game."
No, I don't think they've played bad. I think
that's what I mean by a good loss.
What's hurt them is in front of the net. They're not clearing guys out in front of the net. Schmaltz should have never sat there that long by himself right in front of that goal.
Yeah. Oh, I'm with you. Well, I will say this, Justin has been on this all season. I haven't, but I'm getting there. The officiating in the NHL is going downhill, right? That high sticking on Snuggerud should have been a high sticking and a
misconduct, thrown out of the game.
Embellishment. He barely touches him on the head, just barely touches him, and he's throwing his head back like he got, elbowed with the 15 tons of bricks, and now the game's going to be sealed.
Do you not believe it or not?
I almost nailed this game. Nope. I almost nailed this game. Did I say 5-3 or 5-2, Justin?
I think he might have said 5-2. I can't remember. I know Doug said 5-3, but
yeah,
just why. But yeah, I get it. But like I said, this is the second game, back-to-back games where we've seen something like this. Obviously, the what is it? The penalty against Chicago, that was a high stick on the Blues, and it was his own player that hit him.
Yeah.
So
that
I mean,
the momentum of that game, and I get what you were talking about there.
I think I've tried to tell you guys this, and you can believe me and you can not believe me. But after the investigations into the NBA and MLB on the officiating and the players throwing games, it is going on within the NHL. NHL players are being investigated for it. NHL coaches are being investigated for it. Equipment managers, so on and so forth. Behind the scenes, the DOJ is investigating every major sport, including the NHL, for gambling. I know that for a fact, and here's why. I have a friend who's in the FBI, and her office isn't handling this, but another office is, and she knows those people. And she told me, she says, "We're investigating every major league." And I said, "The NHL?" She goes, "Yes."
I could see it. I
I agree. Lance, I'm sure you've watched. I'm on the betting bandwagon. I certainly do think that there's betting in the NHL. I don't think it's rigged. I mean, I guess technically, if it's betting and if players are throwing games, technically that would be kind of a form of rigging. But I would say betting is where I'm leaning towards for the NHL.
They're looking at the refs first, and some of the players, but they started with the refs, and then they're going to move to because like you said, I've watched hundreds of games this year.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, I've never seen such bad refereeing in my life. And I know we say that every year, but you know, when's the year going to say that, man, the refs got better this year? It just continues to get worse and worse.
At what point,
they still cannot define what goalie interference is.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Exactly. Thank you, Lance.
Well,
Thank you.
We were talking about it earlier, Lance. I said there are 3 rules that I really want to see fixed, right? Goalie interference, obviously.
Yep.
I want to see, what do you call it? When a player dives, the diving.
Embellishment.
I want to see that.
Yep.
I really, really want to see that looked at harder.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third one, this one kind of, people don't realize how important this is. I want to see icing fixed a little bit.
Because a lot of nights you see icing calls that shouldn't have been icing, and you see icing calls that should have been icing, or non-icing calls.
But what I'm talking about, if the puck goes, and we've seen it in this game, if the puck crosses the goal line in the trapezoid,
yeah,
that's a shot. That's not icing. That's a legitimate attempt, right? To me, yeah, game's over.
What is it? Guy, and Lance, since you're here, I said the preface, if you've seen, I'm talking about when I know the icing thing and stuff like that, but like when you throw the puck down the ice and the puck goes through the blue paint and the goalie is like kind of kneeling on his post with his stick on the ice, and then the puck barely hits the side of the outside of the post, that should not be icing. If the goalie is able to play the puck, they should play the puck.
Yeah, I say if it's within a foot or two of every goalie, and he just sits there and lets it look at it, you know, that's
I give you the trapezoid, right?
Yeah,
the trapezoid.
Yeah.
So from the goal line, from the goalpost
across the trapezoid,
to where the trapezoid starts going down. If the puck crosses that red line there, that's not icing. At any time, whether the goalie's in the net or not, that's not icing. Icing is when it's on the side.
Most of my career, I didn't play with a trapezoid. They didn't have it back then.
Well, yeah, they didn't have it, but now that they have it, it's there. There's too many periods where, like, for example, the icing gets called, like in this game, they throw it down and it's icing and it comes back. Well, that stops momentum. I mean, it's good on them, but it's really not icing, right? They're doing their job. If it goes between the trapezoid, if it goes into the trapezoid from the red line, not icing. Plain and simple. Well, the Blues lose this one. Game winner goes to
Dursey.
And
Sean Dursey.
That was an even strength goal. Smoltz gets the killer, which is on a power play that shouldn't have happened. The Blues get goals by Sundqvist and Bushnavid. Thomas gets his 21st assist. Snuggerud gets one. Walker gets an assist in the second game back. Again, I'm not looking at this game going like when I did my preview today, I was pissed off saying, we're not seeing effort. Right. And like I put all this effort into the show. Why can't the players put in effort? They're getting paid. I'm not. And I put the effort in. Why aren't they? And that's why I'm kind of giving up on the season a little bit. Go ahead, Justin. I'm gonna be optimistic and say, well, I'm gonna be fair, and I'm gonna agree with Lance here when he came in and said this. The Blues, they didn't clear the front of the net on the first goal. They should have cleared the net. It was a quick play, I will say that. It was definitely a planned shot by Keller. I mean, you could just tell. I mean, he's just a good player. He knows what to do. Schmaltz goes to the net. He probably should have been cleared, but it was a quick play, so I'll give a little bit of slack on that. The second goal, Hofer should have had, in my opinion. That was a shot that he should have definitely had against Austin Krause.
I agree.
And then the third goal was just wide open. That was missed coverage by Snuggerud. Snuggerud was puck watching. So that's not on Hofer. And then the fourth goal is a result from the bad penalty. And yes, the Blues didn't score, but I thought that there was a lot of chances in this game. And although I'm negative about the officiating and that call specifically, it's not the main reason the Blues lost, but it was the main reason that the Blues it was the main reason that the dagger was put into this game.
Well, you want to look at what it's wrong? 0 for 4.
Oh yeah, special teams. I said it in our TikTok predictions. If people watched it, I said that the Blues do not want this game to go into a special teams battle, and exactly that happened tonight.
Yep.
I mean,
but
Lance, you've talked about this a little bit, and I've heard you on other things than that, and I've given you some shit about it, but to me right now there is a locker room issue, and it might be a locker room issue that cannot be dealt with, meaning that the players...
I posted that last week on Twitter, right. I think. There is an issue. There's
players that are causing it have contracts that are not tradable. What could, and me and Justin talked about it, and I don't know if you've heard us say it, but I'm going to ask you, what could the Blues do right now to fix the locker room or to fix what's wrong?
Well, I think they're going to have to make a change or two, and I don't think they can be small changes. I'm not talking about, putting Joseph on waivers or a guy like that. That's not going to fix it. There's a lot of talks around the NHL where people are talking about the Blues are getting calls about Robert Thomas because of his off year. And people are wondering how much that would take. And I told the guy on a response, I wouldn't get rid of Robert Thomas no matter what. He's not having a terrible year. He's just not having a Robert Thomas year.
Yeah.
And I said, I would want 2 first-round picks, unprotected. So in other words, if you finish 5th, I still get that pick. 2 first-round picks and an existing player that can play for the team right now that's NHL ready. Anything less than that, I wouldn't touch trading Robert Thomas.
No, I wouldn't either. Robert Thomas, for me, Lance, I know that you've kind of went back on me about Bennington and like I said, I see your point on him as well. But if I'm trading one of the 2 guys that got the massive contracts, I'm sorry, but I am 100% shipping Jordan Kyrou over Robert Thomas. Robert Thomas is your guy.
Have you watched Kyrou's defense and the way he attacks the puck in his own end when other people get the puck lately? He's been very good at that this year, going after people who have the puck.
His defensive and his defensive ability has been great. And he's been he's been a bright spot when it comes to the two-way game. But I want to pivot to this because I was the one who said that Kyrou, his ability defensively two-way has been such improved. And Guy, and I hate to throw you under the bus here, Guy, but you were like, no, we need Jordan Kyrou to score goals. And I love that Lance comes on here and he's saying, well, look at the two-way game of Jordan Kyrou. He's been great. So I'm glad to see that people actually see that the two-way game is valuable. It's not just the scoring.
At the expense of his offensive game. He needs to score goals. If he's paying so much attention to defense that he's not scoring goals, he's not earning his freaking paycheck.
Well, if we all remember, under Berube, his goals went down. Mm-hmm. Last year, the partial year, after Montgomery came in, he started playing much better offensively.
Yeah. I mean, his offensive game has like.
Here's the thing. Here's another bad thing that would happen if the Blues traded, let's say, Kyrou. Let's just say they traded him. They're going to want a first or a first and second or a first and first and a guy just similar to Thomas.
Yeah, I think it's exactly similar.
Yeah, but the thing is, with the way contracts are going up, are you going to get that guy instead of the draft picks? Are you going to get that guy who's very good making less than what Thomas is? There's very few goal scorers and guys like Thomas and Kyrou out there that are making $8 million that are putting up any decent points. I mean, most of these guys.
you look at. I'm sorry to cut you off, but you look at that's a good point. But you look at Robert Thomas. Robert Thomas and Kyrou have gotten so much slack for their contracts. Look at the contracts that some of these guys have given out. The Minnesota Wild signed Kaprizov for what was it? $14 million. What was it?
$17 million a year.
$17 million. Kaprizov is a fantastic player, but in no way, I'm sorry, even though the cap is going up and Minnesota does have the money to spend, there is no way that I would take a $17 million Kaprizov over two guys that have immense talent in Kyrou and Thomas that combine for less than his one contract.
I wouldn't either. No, that's Kaprizov should have been paid about $11 million. That's what he should have been.
Yeah.
My thing with if you trade, well, first of all, I think the one guy that you cannot trade or you will not be able to trade is Bushneves. I don't think you're going to be able to trade him, right? I think,
but Bush has been fine in my opinion. Bush has picked up his game since the beginning of the portion of the season.
I mean, he has. He's gotten better, and that, and that. I mean, that's great. If you trade Kyrou or Thomas, you can't eat contract. That's got to be a dollar for dollar trade. It's got, because, and I know I've been told, people have told me I'm wrong on this, but I know I'm not. You cannot, when you eat salary, it's for the length of the contract. You can't eat just 1 or 2 years. You're eating it for the length of the contract.
Yep.
Yeah,
if a player's making 8 and you offer to pay 4 and he's got 4 years left on that contract, you're going to pay $4 million for 4 years. Yep.
Yeah, you're trading. Like you said, if you're trading Kyrou Thomas, you're getting first of all, you're getting your first rounders, and you're getting a guy that is NHL ready.
Yeah.
So you have to, it is a dollar for dollar trade pretty much, where you have to get the same value in return for those guys especially. But like,
I want a first round pick. I want a $6 million guy. I want a $2 million guy, and I want a second round pick.
Well, here's also another thing to look at is, with these guys just making $8 million, they could score 50 points a season and they'd be worth their contract, because that's the new 50-point season guy is $8 million.
Yeah.
Well,
and I love Kyrou. I love Kyrou and I love Thomas. But the only way I'm trading either one of them is if it substantially makes the team better now, not 3 years down the road.
Well, when they signed those contracts, they were making the team better.
And I'm absolutely with you, Lance. I'm not sitting out here and saying trade Kyrou immediately. I'm just saying that you could shop around for options, and maybe Kyrou. I think Kyrou might just be maybe one of those guys that needs a different change of scenery. But
and another thing, Jason, I didn't interrupt you. He's got that no trade clause, but I know for a fact, talking to people that know him, he got really hurt with the way the fans acted him in the media when he was crying, and when he made the quote.
Absolutely.
When he made the quote, he made this quote: "Berube's not our coach anymore, so I don't, I want to move on and talk about the game." And everybody got mad at him over it. And then recently, everybody's blaming him and been on to him. Talking about being on waivers and stuff. And Jordan, and I'm not being put in the best position to play on my team, and people are, the coaching staff and the management and all this, think this of me. I'm asking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of.
Go ahead, Justin.
No, that's a good point. I was even on here saying when the Jordan Kyrou thing happened that it was a terrible thing, and I was like, I kind of frowned upon Blues fans who sat in the arena and booed this guy every time he touched the puck. When they announced him, and I thought it was just classless. Blues fan. I felt like for the most part growing up, Blues fans were so kind of humble in a way. And, the Stanley Cup obviously ruined that. We got the cup, and then now you have a bunch of Blues fans that expect an 82-0 season.
Yep. You've had that for decades, bud.
And I understand it. You want your team to win, but Jordan Kyrou, he gets a lot of undeserved slack. The mistakes that guy was making in the beginning portions, when he was here with Berube, obviously we know that Berube and him did not get along, and it showed. Montgomery came here, or Bannister even came here, and Kyrou was, fine. I mean, the team wasn't great, but even under Bannister for the little amount of time, I felt that he was a weight was lifted off of his shoulders, because Berube wasn't here anymore. And then you get Montgomery here, and I think he's been fine. His two-way game, this has been the best two-way season. I think Jordan Kyrou's best season was last season, but he's making a strong case why this year is if his offense was a little higher, like if he had a little bit more points, a little bit more goals, I would say this season. But last season I thought was his best overall season as a Blue.
Yeah, first of all, what you talked about, Lance, I've been saying that since it happened. Since it's happened, I've been saying exactly what you just said. So you're preaching to the choir over here. You saw me, right? You saw me doing that.
Oh, you're muted, I think, Lance.
The reporter that did that was wrong. 100% wrong. That was on the reporter. He shouldn't have done it. He knew better. He was not a journeyman or a rookie reporter. He was a veteran who knew better, and he did it on purpose. The question was asked at the wrong time. It was the tweet was put out at the wrong time. There was nothing about that right. And everyone who sit there and said that Kyrou was disrespectful is wrong, because if he was going to be disrespectful, what he should have said.
I think you're muted, Lance.
What he should have said. What he should have said. If you want to be disrespectful, I'm glad the son of a bitch is gone. Maybe now I won't get yelled at every 5 minutes.
Yeah, he could have said that.
He absolutely could. And sorry, go ahead, Lance.
What he said was perfect. I don't want to talk about that right now. He's not our coach anymore, and everybody just flipped their mind.
Well, because it was done right before a game. Which,
it was done.
First of all, after they come out of warm-ups, they're preparing for the game. They shouldn't have even been asked the question then. Or it might have been. No. It might have been like before warm-ups, just before warm-ups.
Yep. Ask it a couple days later.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, let it.
Should have been asked on an off day.
Yeah, let it settle. Let it settle. Don't ask before the Blues come out. Yeah. And then, like
because
I said,
I'm going to tell you from my experience, when you lose a coach, it kind of takes you a little bit to get back into things, because you're not sure who your next coach is going to be. You're not sure what kind of scheme they're going to bring in. You're not going to be sure if they appreciate your skill set, or if they're going to move you off the team. There's a lot going into that. These guys have a lot on their minds after a coaching change.
Oh, I know. I absolutely know. And right now, this is all, I'd say 80% of the Kyrou hate and the Berube love is 2019 fans. People that never watched a effing hockey game before 2019, before the playoffs, all of a sudden, and I heard it in one game I was at last year, the home opener. I went off on Berube, and the people that were around me down in the lower level, they did not like me at all. Right? Yeah.
When I've been to games, I mentioned to people, man, I'm just glad Berube's gone, and they look at me like I'm an idiot.
Yeah, because you don't understand. The cup was great. We had 2 more cups on us. We could have had 2 more cups, and we lost both of those cups. Well, we lost one of those cups directly due to Berube, and I think the second cup might have had a little bit to do with him. Right?
Well, I think what
had a little bit to do with him.
Yeah, here was my issue with him. I think they could have won the cup in 2021 or in 1920.
20, yeah.
After winning it, they could have won another cup.
Yep.
But he those games going into, remember they had the 3 or 4 practice games.
Mm-hmm.
He come out and said that.
They asked
They ask if he was worried about it and how he's going to approach it. We're going to approach it as just a game. We don't want to get hurt out there. It's not really a regular season game, and we're ready. We just want to start playing the regular games, and we don't want anybody getting hurt. And that was a wrong way to approach that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I
go ahead.
No, go ahead. You finish your thought, and then I'll chime in. Go ahead.
It wasn't just that. There was a disconnect between the players and the coach.
Yeah.
The players actually voted to not play in the playoffs. Right? That team, the Blues, were one of the 5 teams, the 4 teams that voted to not have a playoff. Right? And I don't think Berube understood how much that affected the team. And I think, and I know something that I know, but it cost them a cup. And then you go to 21-22, where they have that playoff against
Colorado,
where anything gets hurt.
They would have. That was going to be my point about. I thought the Blues could have had 3 cups. They had the 19, they had the season after 2020, and I seriously thought it's a big if then statement if Binnington was not hurt, but I truly believe they would have beat the Colorado Avalanche in 2022, and I think they would have beat the Edmonton Oilers because they weren't the juggernauts that they were in the last 2 seasons, and then they would have. And I'm not saying they would have, but I think that they would have beat a beat up Tampa Bay team because it was very easy for the Colorado Avalanche to exploit a very banged up Tampa Bay team. And I think St. Louis would have done the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
well, for me, with that, it wasn't, you look at 22, right? And after that happens, first of 2 things happen after that, right? Thing number 1, anything throwing the water bottle at
Kadri,
that person, shouldn't have happened. Second thing was Berube coming out and harping on it. That was coach. That was interference. That was this. That was that. If he'd have done the exact same thing he did in 19 with the hand pass, we're over it. We're ready for the next one. We're ready for the next game. The fans don't send the death threat. They didn't send any death threats to San Jose.
No,
I think for the death, I know that the consensus was that there were St. Louis accounts. I'm sure that there was St. Louis accounts, but a lot of burner accounts though that also did not like Kadri. Also, that may have not even been St. Louis fans, just burner accounts were also doing that stuff too. So I will say the general consensus was that Blues fans were they're racist, they're terrible people. Not every not every St. Louis. I think for the most part, Blues fans are passionate. St. Louis fans in general about our sports are passionate about anything that they do with sports. But I think that St. Louis fans are usually pretty humble. And they were humble, especially before the cup. When they got the cup, you saw a lot of those fans that wanted to see the 82s and O's. They wanted the Blues to win every game. If something didn't go their way, they bitched and complained and were very classless towards different fan bases. And now St. Louis fans are getting bad raps for being bad fans because of fans like that. Clip that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it basically it's still the bandwagon fans, right?
It is.
It's the bandwagon fans, and it has hurt this team. And the big problem, and this is probably something that hasn't been looked at, the Blues win that cup, and they take full advantage of it. They jack prices up all around, right, to get all these bandwagon fans that hadn't been there before, and they alienated some of their diehard fan base. And now that they're struggling, they need that diehard fan base. This is what the Cardinals did. The Cardinals did it. And look now, the best fans in baseball are telling Cardinals management, you suck. Blues fans are, I think they're very, very, very close to the same revolt, the same protest.
The Blues, in my opinion, and Lance, I know that you haven't been on with us in a minute. I'm glad to have you back on. But I've said this. I'm with you. I think if the Blues make a move, it is not going to be, some Joseph but put on waivers. It's not going to be some safe move. I said it before. The Blues need to stop playing it Sesame Street safe. They need to create some chaos, and they need to take a chance. And clearly, we've had this discussion. Obviously, us three agree that Jordan Kyrou and Thomas should not be traded unless you get the right return for those guys. But
big return.
As for everything else, this team needs to change, and the management needs to stop playing it Sesame Street safe. Mix it up.
The thing is, that whole question was based around my thought process that the only thing they can do right now to shake up the locker room is take the C from Shin. That was the purpose of that question. Boy, did we go a long way off that.
Yeah, I would, in all honesty, I know there's other people that they want to have the C, like Thomas. I know he's a young guy, but man, he represents everything you want a Blue to be. Hard worker, gets goals. I know he's young, but I'd give it to Jake Neighbors.
Not yet. Not yet. I got to give it to Thomas.
I would, because Guy, if you notice after everybody scores, or if you see them on the bench, he's talking a lot to the other players. He's talking more to the other players and getting them to do things a lot more than Braden Shin is, and a lot more than Robert Thomas is.
I'd actually like to chip on this one, and I don't hate it, Lance. I really don't. That would be a move to me. That would be not playing it Sesame Street safe. You're saying, hey, this is a young guy. Let's give him the captaincy. Let's see where we run with it. But I'm going to run this by you guys. And obviously, I may get some slack on this one. I may get disagreements from you guys. I think they stripped Shin of the captaincy, and they don't name any captain.
Yeah, well, you would.
I think that you hold off until you find the solidifying guy that you want to be the captain, and then you slap the C on him. Don't rush. You don't need to do anything. And like you said, they're not going to do that. But I think that you need to not have a captain until you really settle things down in this locker room and figure out, what pieces need to be shipped out and what pieces need to stay.
Here's my, I don't hate the move of making Neighbors captain, but taking a 10,000 foot view, looking at it from above, I'm going, we got a locker room issue right now. We've had an issue before, supposedly, where a player was upset that he wasn't made a captain. If you skip somebody who is
Alex Steen. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
Supposedly next in line, would you be just compounding any locker room issue that you had? That would be, from the 10,000 foot view, something I would be wary of.
Now, we've all said it. I think Robert Thomas is probably the guy that's going to get it. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm a big Robert Thomas guy. As you guys know, Robert Thomas is my favorite player. Fantastic player. He's our franchise guy. I don't think you should trade him, like Lance said, unless you get a massive return for him. I think he's probably going to be your guy. I think Jake Neighbors carries himself with a lot of maturity for such a young age, so he would be a great choice for a captain. But my thing with Robert Thomas, there's one aspect of his game that I don't like, and it's not even on the ice. He's a great player. He's a playmaker. It's his attitude when things go bad. So when he misses the net, he's skating back slow. He's throwing his head up and not getting back into the play. That's something your captain can't do. If you're a captain, you can't be. You cannot be doing that attitude stuff. And we've talked about this. That is the one thing for me Robert Thomas struggles with severely, is his attitude.
Yep. Yep. If he misses a goal or a goal gets deflected and it doesn't go in, just the look on his face drops, and or he'll just look up at the sky. You don't want a guy like that as your captain.
No, and that would be the only thing holding it back for me for having Thomas be your captain.
I think that's something that Monty can work with, though.
He could.
I think that's something Montgomery is the type of players coach that I think could work with that.
He probably could work things out, get it to be a little bit better.
Fixable problem.
One thing I want to talk about before we get off, if you guys don't mind a couple minutes.
Yeah, I'm good. Dustin?
About 2 years ago, I warned people that the Blues are looking into building a new stadium. Everybody told me, no, they just renovated it 5 years ago. It's going to be great. It's going to be around 50, 60 years. Well, it is now 32 years old. And it is now the fourth or fifth oldest arena in the NHL. I've been warning people about this because I know the way the Blues are going to approach it, and I've been told the way the Blues are going to approach it. The Blues are going to want some local money from the state or whatever to build that new arena, or from the city. They're going to want a bunch of other people to help pay for it. And they have already started talking about it. They have already started plans. And people keep telling me I'm nuts, but I just wanted to tell you guys because I know you don't think I'm totally crazy. I mean, I hope not, at least. But they are talking. They are already making plans for a new stadium, and I'm glad they are, because you can't all of a sudden be in a building 40, 45 years and go, "Oh, we need a new stadium. This one's falling apart," and then go, "Well, yeah, we'll build you one. It's going to take 3.5 years. You got to be in this old stadium for another 3.5 years." So the Blues are being pretty proactive. Mr. Stillman, Armstrong's been involved with it. I know this for a fact. And I don't think they want one right now, but I think in the next 2 or 3 years, you're going to start hearing them kind of putting that out there.
Where would they want to put it?
They're talking about finding a place downtown. They said they had a few places downtown. And then a few of the Blues alumni would like it more towards like St. Charles.
Maryland Heights, yeah.
St. Charles, places like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Justin.
No. Go ahead.
For me, I don't think if you're going, first of all, with the Kansas City thing that just went down, that this might not be the right time to bring that into focus. You cannot. Let me say this 1 million times. You cannot move to the east side. You cannot. Absolutely cannot. There's no way you can move to the east side. So you're either going to put it where your current building is now, and I don't know where they would play if they did that, where they would play. Or you would do something like where maybe they work with the Metrolink. You know how it kind of goes through that area, because that used to be a hangar over there that was a bar or whatever. You work with Metrolink to move or build within that area, right? And you maybe, once they tear the building down, Metrolink. But I don't know if Metrolink goes past United Center. I don't think it does. I think Enterprise Center is the last stop on that Metrolink right now. So,
no, you can go further than that.
You can? Okay.
Yeah.
That's what you could do.
Here's all I'm going to say. They're looking at three. They're looking at 3 places in the St. Louis area, and yes, they are looking in Collinsville, Illinois.
Can't do it. You cannot put it in Collinsville. You cannot take it.
I don't think they're doing. Here's one guy told me this. He says, Lance, it'd be good. He said, I think it would be good in Collinsville, Illinois for certain reasons, but bad for other reasons. He said they're putting that out there to put pressure on the city of St. Louis and the state of Missouri to help them build a new stadium eventually. They put that extra option out there to kind of scare them.
I could see that. That makes sense, but there's no way. No way.
Hey, I live over here, and it would only be a drive of about 5 minutes for me, but I don't think it's the right place either. I don't.
My
that'd be
issue
great.
with North County, which is St. Louis County, North St. Louis County.
You can't have it there.
Well, I mean that's what you're talking about, somewhere in North St. Louis County. But I don't think you can go into St. Charles. I think if you go into St. Charles, now you're talking about moving it almost out of St. Louis. Like the 49ers, where they went. They basically moved out of San Francisco.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you they're not looking in North County because they feel the crime rate and the way that part of the city is. They don't want to be in that part of the city.
I could see them trying to build something near where Centene is.
That's possible. I'll say, yeah, that's possible.
That's Maryland Heights. That's North City, North
possible.
North County. I could see that having their practice facility much closer.
Yep.
To their building.
I can
St.
see
Charles
that.
would be that too, but for me, you can't take that team out of the St. Louis city or county. It cannot go into St. Charles County. It can't go into Jefferson County. It can't go. I think the other one's Monroe County or whatever it is. That's between Jefferson County and St. Charles County. You just can't. Right? It's got to be in either St. Louis City or St. Louis County.
Yeah. I just wanted you guys to be aware of it. And I know you believe me, even if it's just 50% believe me, I appreciate it. But I've put that online and people just keep knocking me down, telling me I'm nuts. The stadium's only 32 years old. Yeah, that's old.
I mean, 32 years is old, but yeah, I don't think you're crazy. I think it holds some validity, and Lance, if you think about it, it kind of lines up because if you're thinking about doing something like that, the Blues, obviously, like it's the end game, and it's like you can't see into the future, but like if you think about it, you would hope that the Blues are Cup contenders by that point.
Yeah.
So that would also go along with that. I mean, it kind of makes sense. You had the Blues who were such a dominant team that made it into the playoffs for so many years. Then they fell off a bit. They made it into the playoffs, then fell off for a couple more years. Now they're kind of in the rebuild, retooling situation. And in a couple of years, they're going to be Cup contenders, I believe. And like you said, I think having a new stadium kind of builds into that in a way. Obviously, they're not building a new stadium because of that, but the timing of everything just seems picture perfect.
Yeah, and they want the Blues to be playing their best heading into that building.
Exactly.
They don't want like a franchise team that comes in and they're bad and they're going to be bad the first year. They want the Blues to be at the top of their game. And from what they're saying, construction could start as early as 28, 29, 29, 30. So we're only a couple of years from it, which means within 18 months to 2 years. Huh?
I could possibly see that.
Yeah.
But, if they want money, and I get it, the lease is probably going to be something similar to what they have now, where the city owns the building, but they lease it from the city.
Yep.
Now, I've been told the lease is $1 a year. I don't believe that. There's no way.
It's not. It's not $1 a year.
It's got to be something that makes that building profitable.
Yeah, it's not $1 a year.
Yeah. So the building has to be profitable to the city of St. Louis, right? So that's where I'm at. Well, guys, that was a great show, man. Almost 4 hours. Wow, we really did it.
Yeah.
I unfortunately cannot do a show tomorrow. Go ahead, Justin.
Oh, no. I just was saying I didn't know. I can't see who's obviously watching. So thanks to whoever was commenting. I don't know if anybody was commenting because we weren't really doing comments, but
yeah, there was a
thank
couple
you for
that I felt like putting up. Right. Nothing I felt like putting up. I mean, and I think Sister JJ is like behind on us. Like what he's saying, what we were talking about 15 minutes ago. So I
will say,
say again. Go ahead, Justin. I'm sorry, man.
No. I just wanted to tackle one thing because I cut out before we moved on because I came back and then you guys were talking about the stadium stuff. I wanted to just circle back real quick and talk about the Robert Thomas attitude thing. The way I view Robert Thomas is kind of the same way I view Jordan Binnington. I think that they're just competitive players, and I think Jordan Binnington carries himself way better. He's obviously matured than what he was before in the beginning. I loved it. He wore his heart on his sleeve. He showed passion as a goaltender. I love that. But I view Robert Thomas kind of in the same light. I think that he gets frustrated. I think he needs to work on that attitude problem. But I think he's a competitive guy, and I think he just wants the best for the team and himself.
He's a competitive guy.
So I think that it more so leans to him being competitive, but I think he needs to find a better way of dealing with it than what he does. Clip it.
And that's fair enough. That's fair enough, right? Well, guys, we got to end the show, man. We're at 4 hours, right? Wow.
I'm glad I was able to get in. I had an MRI of my brain at 9 o'clock tonight, so I barely got back in time.
No, are you okay?
Oh, wow.
Man?
I don't have the results yet.
Yeah. Well, I know what the results say. Ain't much up there.
I knew you were going to say that or something else. Sir, do you have a brain? Because we can't find it.
Find it, yeah.
All I see in your skull is a big Blues emblem.
Yeah. He got spoiled getting a cup as a rookie, and that's possible. But he also missed the majority of the finals because he got nailed by.
He's had health issues.
I don't know if I really agree with that completely. I don't think he got spoiled. I just think the way that he carries himself, I think he just needs to do better with his attitude. Like Lance says, when when its shot gets deflected or he misses the net wide, you hear you feel it, and you feel it, and I don't think it's like. My thing is not like towards himself because I think he's just hard on himself. He kind of shows that Ryan O'Reilly-esque factor to him where he is hard on himself. But my thing is when a teammate or something misses the net or something like that, and you see it on his face. That is my issue that lies with Thomas. So for anyone who says that I'm just a Thomas apologist or Glazer, I am a Thomas Glazer. I love him. I think he's a fantastic player, but that is the one issue. That is the one issue I have with Robert Thomas is his attitude.
Yeah, and I've always looked at it this way: if you're going to trade a star, some people would call him elite and a superstar, but he's a star. If you're going to trade a star, you better get a star's worth back for him.
Yep, I agree.
Lance, dude, you do not know how many times I've had a conversation with detractors of obviously not Blues fans, but. Just fans that have seen Robert Thomas play, and they say that Robert Thomas is not a star. You're out of your freaking mind if you think Robert Thomas is not a star.
I will tell you this right now. If Doug Armstrong called the other 31 teams and said, now working out here in St. Louis, I'm really looking to move Robert Thomas, what are you offering? I guarantee you all 31 of those teams would be on the phone with him for a week trying to work something out.
Guaranteed.
Absolutely. Right. Well, that was a great show. Like I said, final thoughts on the game. The Blues played a good game. Few missed defensive coverages. Terrible call that led the game to be pretty much over because after they scored the fourth goal, I knew it was over. I called it. Justin Scott, eagle eye, of course. I called it, of course. But when am I ever wrong? So I know people are going to give me slack for that, but I don't care.
I'm glad you're so humble, Justin. So humble.
I had to call it out. What did I say? I said, Guy, I told you I'd come at the end of the show, and I told everyone that I would say, I told you so.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I told you.
Okay. I want to thank you. Didn't go out on a ledge there either, bud.
Yeah. I want to thank you guys for letting me. I want to thank you guys for letting me come on the last minute. I appreciate it.
You said they were going to lose. They were already down 2-0 with 13 minutes to go. So
no, what'd you say? No, I didn't say they were going to lose. I didn't say they were going to lose.
What I'm saying is you didn't go out on much of a ledge there. It's not like they were up 4-2 and you said they were going to lose. They were down 4-2 with 13 minutes to go, and they had trouble putting the puck in the net almost the entire game. So, you got it right, but you didn't step out of too much of a ledge. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, guys, thanks for having me on. I hope you hope you don't think I'm too crazy with my ideas out there. So
no. We enjoy we enjoy the interaction. I feel like here in the last couple shows we've had a lot of interaction, way more than what we are used to. So I felt that we are getting up there. So that's good.
Well, thanks again, guys. I'm gonna let you go. And the last 3 words I'm gonna say is "Let's go Blues."
Let's go
Let's
Blues.
go
Okay,
Blues.
this is Guy, the
Thank
White
you,
Blues
guys.
fan. For my co-host, Justin Eagle Eye Scott, saying a big, huge thank you to, and I can't remember his name. Who was our guy here?
Doug from Iceberg Hockey Cards.
Doug from
Doug.
Iceberg Hockey Cards, and Lance and Scott. Thank you. Just too much things going through my head at one time. There is only one way to end this show. Justin,
And I
how do we
think-
end this show?
I think we got to ask, where are the girls? Where are they at, man?
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo. And I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Who's late for dinner?
Where are the boys? We're having spaghetti tonight. Where are the boys?
Hawaii Blues fan. We're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues.
This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, letting you know that I am bleeding blue with you.
And as always, it's Let's Go Blues.
And we hope to see you Sunday night on the BlueNote Fan Report, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, with our special guest, Prashard Owens. I'm going to try and get that show out tonight or tomorrow morning. We will not be here tomorrow because I have something to do. I apologize, but hey, hopefully the Blues do better against the Knights in Vegas. See you tomorrow night, guys. Aloha.